Welcome back. Hi, or hi for the first time. That's fine as well. I'm Shyaren, you're Bean. How are you doing? I have a few lovely ways for you to come out, if that's what you want to choose to do. Listen here. It's always very hard, especially if you do not know how people react. And even if you know that people will very likely be supportive, it can be hard. I was very sure that my mother would be supportive, and I still had so much problems bringing out the words that I'm transgender. I just sat there for like over 5 minutes before I found the words, and she got like really, really worried. So I get that, it's very hard. But number one, it does get easier with every single coming out. And let's be honest. If you have a coming out, or if you decide to come out for the first time, you will have so many coming outs in your like following year or whatever. It will be like every single new person you meet, every single new friend, or every single existing friend, every family member, at work, at like so many situations, right? So I already had a coming out to my sister, to my mother, then to you guys on the internet, and to friends, and soon at work as well. I'm still like, but like it does get easier with every single time, right? So here are a few choice ways you can do it. These are meant to be funny, don't take them seriously. You know how we have a lot of words with like trans in it? Like transport. You can be like, yo, you know about transport?
I'm in transport. International air freight, mostly. I'm transport.
I'm that, but without the port. You know, I kind of want to like transition, and then they ask you to what? To another gender? Do you know the train stations? Yeah, I'm a trans station instead. I want some action. What kind of action are you talking about? Some trans action? I need more trans friends. You know about the transatlantic accent? Yeah, that's kind of me, but without the Atlantic part. Trans accent. Can you transfer some money to me, please? Thank you. Transgender and trench over yonder and trans. I love that word. You know about Lucient? No, I've never heard of her. Translucent. Are you my parent? Well, now you're a transparent. Or you are my trans parent. But do not be transparency with me, or maybe are, I don't know, transparency. But most important, when you have a plant, be sure to transplant the plant into like a bigger pot whenever it grows up. And always take the transit during public transport. You know how it works. But yes, these are some like ways you can do it. I mean, I saw also people were like doing like funny things where I killed my old self. Basically, that person does not exist anymore. Aha, I destroyed them. You know? But yeah. What are some like actual real tips? You see, you could drop some hints slowly if you wanna build things up. Like you could ask the person you wanna come out to if they have any experience with pride, with the LGBTQ stuff, if they know any such people. You can try to like find out and figure out how they feel about these things. You can, of course, just drop it on them and then live with the fact and see whatever happens, right? Because let's be honest, if people, after you come out to them, are unaccepting, do you really want them in your life? I know it's like very, very hard if it's like people you really like, you really love, maybe they're family members, they're long-term friends, but do you really want them in your life if they do not accept yourself, how you really are? Right? And that's a question everybody has to answer for themselves. I cannot answer that for you, right? You all have to decide when it is the perfect time to crack your egg and to come out, when it is the perfect time to tell which person. You know, it's a very personal thing, and you can only decide for yourself. Egg! Yeah. So do know that you are always welcome here, lovable beans, lovable girls, and lovable boys, and lovable in between. You will always have a safe space here. There will always be more Shyaren videos where I scream at you, meme with you, and be just like silly Billy. So yeah, if you have to come out to somebody, I wish you the bestest of luck. You can do it. I believe in you. And be sure to use one of the many trans words. Bye! Are you tired of shaving all the time? Do you want like better ways to get rid of hair, easier ways to get rid of hair? Well, let's talk body hair and the removal of said body hair. Don't we like all wish to like go into an incinerator for like 1 second and it only burns off the body hair but leaves the head hair there and of course like your eyebrows and stuff like that, but everything else gone? Yeah, sadly that is not exactly how it can work. And you might also ask yourself, Shy, didn't you only sleep 4 hours? And Shy, didn't you after that work for 10 hours? And Shy, shouldn't you be sleeping right now? And yes, chat, yes, person, I should be sleeping right now. But I wanted to record this video and quickly talk about body hair. And again, this is like mainly gonna be like for the girlies out there, because I don't know the other perspective. So I was in the very fortunate situation where I talked about this multiple times. I never really had a male puberty because of like genetics. Well, not really genetics, like genetic failure basically. But so I never really had like a full-on beard growth, right? But I still have hair in some places where I want it gone, right? And even though first off, before we talk about shaving, let me say, women have facial hair. Women have like peach fuzz on their face. Women have hair on their arms. And women have hairs on their legs. Literally, women have hair everywhere, right? So it's okay if you have hair, but it's also okay if you want to get rid of the hair. So that's what we're going to talk about, right? So I realized this, like basically, even my sister has like more hairs on her arm than me. And like many of like my co-workers as well. And I even have like some co-workers who have a little bit of like chin hair and they don't like remove it every single day. And they're not forced to do it if it doesn't bother them. Like, why would they, right? So how can you do it? I mean, there's obviously multiple ways, right? There's the good old razor and there's like multiple razors that are recommended. If you're literally just starting out, I would probably just get these like 1 or 2 time use razors with a single blade and to try your first little few things, right? Try to take a little like arm hair off or whatever. See if you even like it, right? See if you like the feeling of like being shaved. But do be careful because obviously you can cut yourself. There's also some like actual, I don't know the English term for it. There's like one knife blades basically, which are literally just like blades and you have to be very careful. They're like almost like a scalpel and you remove the hair off that. Never used one of them myself, but they exist. Then there's like the typical razors that you can buy, non-electric ones. And I do have one that is marketed for ladies, so I did get it. It has like 3 little blades in there and you can use it like a few times before you have to exchange the blades. And I mostly use that like maybe once a week on my face to get like some of the like hairs like above the lip away, and like they're not even that noticeable, but I noticed them and I want them gone. Okay, so that's one thing. Then of course, if you have more hair, the shaving might take longer. You might need to do it more frequently. Again, like with everything really, it has to do with genetics, has to do with your ethnicity. Like if you're from specific parts of the world, it can be more likely that you have different hair growth, more hair growth in different places and stuff like that, right? So that is happening. Then of course there's the thing about waxing. You probably heard of it, even if you've never done it. It's like an easy but painful way to remove a lot of hairs at once from like, I think it's mostly used on like arms and like legs and like bigger places. I don't know if there like if there is like facial waxing. Probably is. I've just never encountered that myself. There are some other ways like electrical razors that you can use. And most of them are like so safe nowadays, you can basically not hurt yourself with it anymore, right? And I'm gonna try to put one of the razors I'm using into the link, in the box down below. There's gonna be an affiliate link for Amazon, just be aware, right? I'm not sure if I will find it, because obviously I got mine from German Amazon and the links are like from USA Amazon or whatever. But I will try if I can find the exact one. And that one I actually quite like. I've used it on my arms, on my legs, and you know, since we had the freaky videos recently, in some other places we don't mention as well, right? And it's not painful, you still have to be careful, and remove hairs, and it works, and it's cool, right? So that's good, right? That one I did quite enjoy. Then there's like longer term hair removal. Now I'm just gonna talk about like epilators for at home. They exist. What do epilators do? Epilators basically pluck out hairs by themselves. That means the hair is not just cut, it is like yoinked out, which means it takes like way longer to grow back. But the problem is it still grows back at some point because you just like yoinked out the hair. Like the whole like hair factory is still in your skin. What's the word? The hair seed? That sounds wrong. What's it called? I don't know, dude. I don't know. The thing that grows your hair is like still inside, right? Basically in your skin. Now let's talk about two of the main use methods to permanently, and I actually mean permanently, get rid of body hair, which you can basically do everywhere on your body. The more easier one is lasering, right? The problem with lasering is that not everybody can do laser. Who can do laser? If your hair on your body is like visible to the naked eye, like it doesn't blend in with your skin color, then you can basically do laser because that's like how the hair gets identified and do it. I can sadly not because I am white as shit. I'm white as a banshee. I'm basically as white or more white than my avatar. And so the arm hairs, for example, you can barely see them. They're like freaking translucent. So laser was never an option for me. Like it doesn't work on like that kind of combination, right? Which is like kind of sucky. Also, laser can be expensive and you will need like multiple sessions, so it will take months probably. Why will it take months? Because laser basically is only like killing the like hair pores of the currently growing hairs. And if you don't know how like hair growth works, they go like in like cycles, right? You have like one group of hairs basically in the same spot that grows like over like 2 or 3 weeks. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, the next group starts. And you basically have to like kill these groups whenever they start growing, which is why like lasering and stuff like that, you need to go over like the same surface multiple times, which is why the whole process, especially if you want to do like full body, for example, takes a long time. And most of the time, sadly, it's expensive as well. In some parts of the world, you can get it paid for. I know some people in Germany get like some amount of paid for by their insurances. Now, if you cannot do laser, there's another thing called electrolysis or something, and we are going to go to the Wikipedia article of both in a second. That one works, I'm pretty sure, for most people. The problem is, this one is painful as fuck. Trust me, because I tried. What is electrolysis? So basically, a tiny, thin as fuck needle is getting inserted into every single pore in your skin where you want your hair removed, and the like hair follicle is burned down to a crisp, to ashes, and that is obviously very irritating on your skin. It hurts. Most of the time you also take like painkillers before the thing even happens. And like the very bad thing that can happen to some people, which is why I'm saying not quite everybody can do electrolysis, which is why I stopped. I had like one session and one session only. And they told me that the like healing process of like the burns and stuff like that can take like 10 to 14 days. In some cases, like 21 days. Let me tell you, the healing process for me took over 3 or 4 months. And I had to use like various like salves and stuff on my skin for it to get like better. Thankfully, it was like only a tiny space. And now you can almost not see it anymore. But like it left like some kind of scars that almost look like acne scars, right? I never had acne. I never had acne scars. But now it looks like I did at one spot, right? Because my skin is apparently, I didn't know this before, so sensitive that like these like burns never really healed correctly. And that kind of fucked that little space up. So that's a no-go for me. So I'm just living with the fact now that like once a week, I just take my little razor and go like, pop, 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 and it's gone, right? And of course, my favorite tool that I have with me everywhere I go is a little like pincer. Is it the English word, like a little pincer for like a little to grab the hairs out? Because, you know, sometimes you have like this 1 or 2 hairs somewhere on your face that just like appear out of nowhere, like a freaking witch put them there. So you just like pinch the finger and it's gone, right? It's gone. So before we end the video, let's actually go to the page of the thingies I want to show you. So first off, we had the Wikipedia page for laser hair removal, and I'm gonna put those into the thingies as well. So basically with laser hair removal, like it's literally like getting lasered off and it's happening, and pretty sure this existed for like a long time, like look at that, like over 30 years almost. And this is like, you can see here how it's like happening. It's like getting like lasered off, it's getting like grabbed off, and it's like, it's pretty good. And then electrolysis, which is what we're gonna look at now, is like this thing. And I believe it's like even older, like the one of the methods was used in 1875. Let's see if they do have some pictures here. Like they have like the blend method where they combine like this one and this one together. So there's no exact pictures, but like you have to imagine, or maybe don't, that like a tiny needle is getting inserted into every single hair pore, and like then like electrical current is being sent there to like burn the hair follicle down to a crisp, and it dies off and it can never regrow, which is what you want, right? But obviously that can be painful and also takes a shitload of time and a shitload of money most of the time. So really, yeah, those are the ways you can deal with hair. And of course, if you want like more like shaving tips, you probably have to go to some like other people for like shaving products by itself, like what like shaving cream or whatever, or like what razors you should use besides the one that I'm gonna link below. Because sadly, I don't know, since I never had to deal with like a full beard or whatever, so I wish I could like give more tips on that, but I can't. So maybe just do it and go to these people. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go bye now. Bye. Class, listen up. Alright, do I have your attention? Amazing. Your sensei, your teacher, that is me, is speaking with a very belated video, but here we are. Okay, so number one, we are gonna talk about HRT and sexuality changes / repression. That's not the word. Sexuality suppression, like a perfect spell suppression, but this time for whomst you like. Yeah, so if you have been in any kind of trans social media, mostly Reddit, honestly, let's be honest, mostly Reddit, right? You will have seen some people indubitably talk about that HRT changed their sexuality, meaning who they are attracted to. That is a lie, okay? Or rather, it's not a malicious lie, but it's just an untrue fact. HRT has no proven benefits, changes that affects that, okay? So what is actually happening here is that you were attracted to a certain group of people, right? But because of either internalized transphobia, homophobia, whatever phobia, right? You did not allow yourself to live these feelings. That is what people say. Now, let's talk about myself first, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. So, for me, as early as maybe when I was like 16, which my God is like 15, almost 16 years ago now, right? I started to have these thoughts that I knew always that I was attracted to female presenting people, right? But then at some point, I saw some people, some actors, and some characters in video games, and I would always tell myself, if I was gay, which in quotations I wasn't, I would like to be with that person, that male presenting person, right? Back then, it must have been like internalized homophobia, because I was like always be like, yeah, if I was gay, but I'm not, so I can't, it's always just a joke. It's like, nah, it's not true, it's not real, it doesn't really know. Which now I know, it was never gay to be in the first place. It was gay to like women, and it was fucking straight to like men, okay? So that is what I think happens to many people. Now, why? First off, let's take your fear away. If you are like disgusted by male presenting people and you're like, oh my God, I don't want that HRT makes me like want to like them and be with them, okay? It's not gonna happen. It is literally not gonna happen, okay? What's happened here is that as you take HRT, not only most people, okay, not all, most people don't only take HRT, they change a lot of things in their lives, okay? They change like their clothing, many even their whole identity, their whole lives. Maybe they move somewhere else. They change the whole like world view in a way. If you get what I mean. Okay, if you've been through this, you know that, right? And you make many changes to better yourself, to improve your situation, to feel better, right? And then, because you are in that situation, you allow yourself, this is the important part, okay? You, as a person, as a silly little being, you allow yourself to feel the feelings that have always been inside you, right? Deep down, if you remember back, there must have been situations where you were like, yeah, I kind of like how like beards look or whatever, how male presenting people look, right? And that is what, it's silly talking about this, right? But that is what it was for me. Like, I now realize that there wasn't really only a few characters where I would say, if I was gay, I would like them. No, there were a lot. There were only a few that like slipped through my mind's protective buff, right? To reach the true perception of my brain. I'm sounding like I'm on LSD or whatever. I'm not! I'm just a silly little gremlin on Monster Energy, and let's have a drink. Yeah. So, now what? You've just now realized, oh shit, there's more people that I would like to be with. Well, now you can still choose. It's like nobody's forcing you. Maybe. Are you not paying attention anymore?
Ding dong. Coming up.
Okay, so maybe you even completely did a 180 and you're like, I don't even can imagine myself being with a female presenting person anymore. I need like, I don't know, bear person to hold me and protect me, and I want to be carried, you know. Maybe you realize that you are actually bisexual and you like more than one gender. Maybe nothing changed and you're like a lesbian now, right? Everything is possible, and just because one person experiences one thing does not mean in any way, shape or form. It feels wrong to say in any way without shape or form after it. Don't you feel like that? It does not mean that in any way, shape or form, you have to feel the same way, experience the same things. Take it from me, okay? I had always my waifus in anime and in games, okay? And there were very few male characters I felt attracted to. But now that like my mind debuff is gone, I am simping for the husbandos so badly. Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3, he is my man. Do not take him away from me, okay? He's mine. He's mine. I also now realize why I always liked shoujo anime and anime where a damsel in distress, so to say, or a female protagonist goes into like an isekai otome game, and there, you know what I mean. You know which anime I mean. So now let me ask you, are you still paying attention? Pay attention. This is still in class. Class is still in session, okay? Good. Good little V. You did a good job. Yeah. Okay. So, did this happen to you? Did you realize at some point that your sexuality is not actually what you thought it would be? Tell me. I need to know. I mean, you don't have to expose yourself in the comments, right? Just think about it for yourself in your little brain hole for a moment, right? Think about it. Also, the main point of the video is over, right? But I want to talk about something else now. I have heard or read, probably on Reddit at some point, that many people are probably, there's no scientific proving of this, I'm just rambling, okay, what I saw and what I think about it. Someone said they believe that many people are actually bisexual, but because of like societal standards, they only allow themselves to express like one way, like the majority of people, if they are male, say they are attracted to females, and if they are female, they say they are attracted to men, okay? But what if that is actually true, right? If, let's just assume for a moment that revelation would be true, right? That, let's say, the majority of people are not actually straight, but bisexual. They could be if they allowed themselves and if there were no societal standards whatsoever to show you what is accepted and what is not. How would the world look? I'm still very curious, right? If many people still choose to be quote unquote straight because they want to like reproduce or whatever. I mean, there's always other ways, right? You could adopt and stuff like that, but many people want their quote unquote own children, their own blood, quote unquote, okay? So I'm very curious if such a world would exist, how it would look like. But alas, it is not the world we live in. And with that, I leave you with this mind-pondering question, and you may now go, for class is over. We need to talk about hair, and I mean we really need to talk about hair, we need to talk about shampoo, and we need to talk about the whole year's process around that, because listen, this video is inspired by my Discord, because I was there, and the things people did not know about, like, things you should know about hair, shampoo, taking care of your hair, to get longer hair, to have healthy hair, it baffled my mind. But like, here's the thing, I understand, so you don't need to feel ashamed, because like I did not know either before I like watch a lot of videos on it and inform myself. Because if you are a person who potentially didn't have parents to teach him to you, school doesn't teach you this anyway. I think they should. Everybody has hair at some point in their life. They should, okay? And if you didn't have like any other female friends when growing up to talk about like this beauty and like taking care of your things, you probably don't know. And that's like not your fault. It's society's fault, okay? It's like there should be a healthcare class in school. Okay, there should be a healthcare class in school from literally like maybe 3rd or 4th grade all the way until you graduate, right? Where you slowly learn more and more and more and more. But there isn't. But one thing, before we go into the main meat and potatoes of hair, shampoo, and conditioner of this video, I need to tell you a little story. Because what happened to me today was crazy. So imagine a German VTuber girl in her own little room drinking a fizzy drink. And the fizzy drink was in a can, kind of the same size as like a Dr. Pepper, right? And I was drinking it, and all of a sudden, I had to sneeze. So I sneezed. And somehow the air of the sneeze went inside of the can, when the can was bubbling because it was a fizzy drink and there was still a lot of drink in. The beverage bursted out from the can into my freaking nostrils and all over my glasses. And my whole face was full of drink. Okay, that's enough. Okay, save your hair. Here's how, here's why. Let's go. Number one, most of the topics I'm gonna talk about is from a perspective if you want long hair, if you want like girly looking hair and stuff like that, right? But of course, everybody else can still take something away from this video. Okay, general stuff you should know that not many people do actually know. You should very likely not shampoo your hair daily. There is like even an article I popped up, which I'm gonna read to you in a second here. It's from WebMD, which is obviously a platform with like a lot of doctors. And we first gonna go over how shampoo works. And they say here, shampoo traps oil. So if you do it too frequently, you may dry your hair out. We already know, or you should know what shampoo does, right? It takes out the wetness basically of your hair, dries it out, which is why we counteract the shampoo with conditioner later, right? And leaving it prone to breakage, says Angela Lamp, not Angela Merkel apparently, MD and assistant professor of dermatology, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes on like, for instance, black people's hair is more fragile and at risk for damage. Hair products, natural oil called sebum, and shampoo is an emulsifier that captures and traps oil and product residue, which you then rinse out and clean. Right, so that's the thing. And then they have like a different paragraph, and the link is going to be down in the comments. So if you want to read this yourself, who should shampoo daily? The experts agree only a small group needs to shampoo daily, like those with very fine hair, someone who exercises a lot and sweats, or someone living in a very humid place. And then they also go on to say that there's like no blanket recommendation of how often you should use shampoo. But now let's go into why you should probably not shampoo daily unless you're in like one of these like very small groups of people, right? So shampoo is basically damaging your hair a little bit, but it's damaging your hair every single time you use it, which is like we want to like not use this as often. And whenever we do use shampoo, we always want to use conditioner after. let's talk about shampoo first. So it doesn't really matter what brand of shampoo you get, right? I don't care. Get one that smells like peaches, get one that smells like Rattata from Pokemon. I don't care, okay? You want a shampoo that just makes your hair clean. How do you use shampoo? This is also something people basically do not know. To support the shampoo, what it does is you put the shampoo onto like one of your hands, and then you put like, you are in the shower, so your hand's already wet, right? So you put the shampoo on the wet hand, then you take your other hand and slowly rub in a circular motion the shampoo in your two hands. Then you have the shampoo on your two hands. You also already like emulsified a little bit. That's like the term for it, right? It's like a little bit bubbly. Then you put both hands on top of your scalp and put it all over your scalp and like scratch it a little bit to like get it into the pores, right? That's how you do it. Why do you do this? Because basically, if you just slap a little bit of shampoo without like rubbing it between your hands first on your head, it's like doesn't get the big effect, right? Because sure, you can then try to rub your head, but because it's like there's all the hair and stuff, it never really gets the friction it needs, right? So you like pre-rub the shampoo so it gets better effect. Then continuing on with shampoo, technically you should probably leave it in like, dude, some people say like 5 minutes, but we ain't got no time, right? I leave the shampoo most of the time in for like 30 seconds to like a minute, right? I put the shampoo in, I use like body wash in that time, then I get the shampoo out, right? Because we have more steps to do. I never wait as long as they tell you to do, because like, bitch, I have to assess the time, baby. What are you doing? And now, if you are starting to either go from shampooing daily to less times, or you wanna like go multiple times without using shampoo, which I would recommend, you very likely every single time you do shampoo wanna shampoo twice. This was something like a hairdresser many years ago already told me. This can work for everybody, but especially for people that have like very like oily hair, right? You do the first shampooing, you get it out of water, and then you basically do the same step again. Because on the first like process, you take out all the shit that has like conglomerated into your hair out. And then in the second step, when it's like already out of the way, you can actually get some of the stuff out of the pores, right? So you have two things, and then you basically can go more days without showering, without it like getting like too oily again. That's basically how it works. One step for shampoo before we move on to the next topic. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to put shampoo on like your hair that is hanging out from your face away, right? That means like your bangs, your hair on the side, your hair on the back. You literally only want to put the shampoo on your scalp, on your head, on that part of hair, right? Because then the shampoo will like automatically go to the rest of the body when you like wash it out. And since we already established shampoo dries out your hair, you do not want to put it like into like the very vulnerable parts of your hair, which is like the ends of your hair, right? Because they already do not get like the full nutrition and like hydration that the rest of your hair gets, because that's just how your body works, right? It's like the same way where like the end of like a leaf from a big tree doesn't get as much as like you get it, right? That's how it works. So get it out. Next step, and this is like very important, this is like a game changer if you have not used the magic of conditioner before in your life. This is a fucking game changer. While shampoo is for your hair and for your scalp to get the oils out, conditioner counteracts the shampoo to like bring like the hydration back, right? And we basically do the opposite that we had with shampoo. Your conditioner, you only want to put on like your hanging down hair, right? You do not want to put it on top of your hair, on top of your scalp. You basically do the same thing. You put a conditioner on your hand, between both of your hands, and then you basically just go through all of your hair, slowly like a piece of rope, basically, taking it through your hands, putting conditioner on there. And potentially, what I heard some people do it, like you want to like press the hair together with the conditioner, so you like hear the like this kind of noises, right? When you put it in there, you want to have like the bubbly, like squishy noises. And now, conditioner, you actually do have to leave in like a little bit. Some people, again, say like 10 minutes, but babe, we ain't got no time. So leave it in like a minute, 2 or 3, depending on how much you actually like to shower or if you're like in a bath or something, right? I try to do like 1 to 2 minutes to have it do their work, and we're gonna go over another product in a bit that can help with that as well, right? So you have that time. Then you're gonna take that out. And then you're done with the shower, basically, right? You now have your hair. That is the basic thing I would do every single time you do shower. It sounds a lot right now, but like, it maybe is like 5 minutes more time in the shower than what you're probably doing right now. So it's not that much more once you get the hang of it, right? That's like the basic step. There are other steps, which I do like every 2 or 3 weeks or like every month. We're going to get to that in a minute now, right? But now we have wet hair. And there are 2 important things you need to know now. There are 2 types of hair types, basically. I mean, there are way more, but there are 2 types I know about, right? There's curly hair and there's straight hair. And then, of course, you have all kinds of like subgenres of hair. When you have curly hair, you want to brush your hair while it is wet. And you want to get a brush that is meant to brush your hair when it's wet, right? That means one that like doesn't like what? What word? Strapitate? Oh my God, like doesn't like damage your hair, right? And when you have very straight hair, like I'm a person with very straight hair, the rest of me isn't straight, but my hair is, then you really only wanna brush your hair when it's like already dry, right? That is basically to protect your hair. There are multiple ways to get your hair dry. And for most people, it is actually recommended, even though it takes like freaking 8 hours, right? To like naturally let it dry out in the sun through the air. Do not lose your blow dryer. Do not use a lot of like towels and stuff like that, right? That is like recommended if you have time. But let's be honest, you can only really do that when either you shower before bed and then it dries overnight, or when you like shower on the weekend and you don't go anywhere, right? In the other situations, there are a few things you can do. What I like to do first is I take my big towel and I put it on top of my head. And again, same as with the shampoo, I only like rub the head where the scalp is, like to not damage the hair that's going off. For your other parts of the hair, you can get a so-called silk towel. There's even like silk towels advertised for hair, but just get a silk towel, right? With them, you can basically wrap the hair that's falling off like around you and get like the wetness out like that. But if you have like actual longer hair, right, you probably still have to do something like, now it's probably takes like 1 or 2 hours to dry by itself, but sometimes stuff happens and you do have to blow dry. I would recommend if you do use a blow dryer, because blow dryers are like damaging your hair as well. If you do it too much, use it like not on the highest setting and try to limit it like a little bit. Like what I like to do when I blow dry my hair, and I still do it every once in a while, you don't need your hair to be like perfectly dry from the blow drying. You just want to go over the most like egregious places of your hair, blow dry it, like rub your hair all the time, like shake it violently so all the wetness like goes away. And that's gonna be it. And then the rest is gonna dry on your way to work or something like that, right? That's that. So we talked about blow dryers, we talked about conditioners and shampoo. That's like it's the basic process now, right? It sounds a lot. We're at minute 13, but that's the basic process of like showering. Now there's a few more things we are gonna talk about. There is something called a leave-in conditioner. And that thing is fucking magic and I love it. Listen, many of the times you do not have time to use conditioner in the shower. I get it. Maybe you only have like 10 minutes for your shower. Then it's like very unrealistic to use traditional conditioner. There is a thing called leave-in conditioner, which you use after you like dried your hair a little bit with a towel. And it's basically, most of them are like a spray. You like spray it into your hair like hairspray. And it's basically conditioner that stays in and is made to stay in, not to be washed out again, and has the same effect of conditioners. There's like lots of brands of them, right? Let's just get any of them. I have like I think it's called like Wonder Spray, whatever the hell, but they try to look on like US Amazon. I think it might be like a German brand or something, I'm not sure. So I can't like link it to you. That's leave-in conditioner. There's like, of course, our products. We're gonna talk about brushes now, okay? I will actually link the exact brush I am using because I did find it on Amazon. But there's also a brand called Wet Brush, and they are like very popular. And with them, you basically, as the name implies, you can brush when your hair is wet if you have to. But also, it's a very good brush to like not have knots, and it's like very gentle on your hair. And the one I'm using is like even gentler because it's like has like very bendy like little things, right? Like, what are they called? The like little teeth of the brush are like very bendy, so it like doesn't get stuck on hair. It's like that's what I'm using, and I'm pretty happy with that one, right? That's brushes. Next up, how can you support your hair otherwise? I am a big fan of taking biotin, and it's like nothing scary. It's just like a supplement you can take, and biotin does support your hair. And I'm pretty sure some parts of biotin also support your nails. So all over, it's like a good thing. I don't take it daily, but like it probably is. There's like little tablets, and I don't know what the dosage is in them, but I take like maybe 3 a week just to like get my hair growth done and to make my hair stronger. And in general, your hair grows around, I looked it up, like 1 inch, which is like 1.23 centimeters per month. Of course, it varies depending on your age, depending on your, I don't know, your gender, depending on your, what's it called, your DNA, your ethnicity, it changes, right? But in general, it's around like 1 centimeter, a little bit more or less, give or take, right? So if, for example, you currently have like just like, I don't know, neck long hair and you want your hair to go to your boobies or something, right? Just be aware that it can take a while. And stuff like biotin can help a little bit to make it a little bit faster. It's still not like hair growth thingy, but it's like helps a little bit, okay? Next up, there are so-called scalp massagers, and I'm a very big fan of them. Because we have talked about like your hair cells at the scalp, and we can like support them by like actually literally giving them a little massage that activates them, right? Stimulates them to like enhance the hair growth thing, right? And those things are like $2, $3. I mean, you can technically use your hands as well to give you a little massage, or ask somebody else to give you a massage. But those things are pretty nice to put it into your hair, and it's cool. Now let's talk about longer showers, and I try to do these around once a month. There's like 2 or 3 products I use, which I got from like another TikTok video I watched like way back in the day. One of them is a so-called scalp cleanser or scalp scrub. It's like basically a kind of cream that has like some like bigger coarse material in there to like really cleanse your scalp. And it's like, it feels like you literally put like sand on top of your head. So you have to like you get it out with a lot of water afterwards, right? And you will probably take like an hour or longer in the shower if you do all these things, which is why I only do like once a month, right? That's like one of the things. Then there's also a thing called a hair mask, right? Mask like you put on your face, right? But this time on your hair. That one you do have to leave in quite a long time, but it basically is like very nutritious and different stuff for your hair as well. And of course, that's like good when you have a lot of time, when you have maybe when you take a bath anyway and stuff like that, right? Those are the ones. There's also things like hair oils. I have one. I've only used it twice so far. Not a big fan, because if you wanna have like the most use out of your hair oil, you technically need to like slap it on your hair and then leave it in there for a few hours, which some people do. They slap it in their hair, they put like a garbage bag over their hair so it like doesn't leak out. They leave it in a few hours and then they wash it out. You can do it. It supports your face, your hair. But it's like, that's a lot of work. That's the point where I'm doing the cut. That's a lot of work. I did it twice, and now I'm like, that's a little bit too much for me. You know, that's too much. Next up, split hairs. Split hairs can happen to anybody. Probably do happen to anybody. And you should, as shitty as this sounds, go to like a hairdresser and get your split ends cut. If you don't know how they look like, if you don't know what they are, look it up on Google. Split ends do basically happen if you like take not as good care for your hair. And it's basically you cut them off so like the rest of your hair can grow longer again healthily, right? What you don't want is basically waste a lot of time by trying to grow out your hair, and then in the end it's like split hair ends all over, right? That sucks. But yeah, maintenance cuts should probably also be done. To be honest, do as I say, not as I do, because I did not get my hair cut for like 2 years now. I probably should. But my hair still looks very voluptuous and voluptuous and so cool. It's so amazing and I love it, okay? Let's see. What have I... Did we talk about everything? Let me actually go to my browser here. Let's see. We talked about the leave-in conditioner. We talked about the scalp scrub or the no-tangle brush, the hair mask we talked about, the biotin we talked about, the silk towel we talked about, and the hair scrubber we talked about. Pretty sure I talked about everything in this video I wanted. But basically, if everything from like the last like 12 minutes is too much for you, do your girl a favor and at least shampoo not daily. And when you do shampoo, leave conditioner in, right? There's something else. If you do feel the need to wash your hair more often, you can wash your hair with just conditioner, right? That's better than using shampoo every day. And of course, you can also just wash your hair with water, right? That's it, right? That's it. We want to get to a point where we use like shampoo twice a week. Like, if your hair gets oilier faster, maybe 3 times a week. My hair is nice enough to me that I can get away with only using shampoo twice a week, right? And my hair looks still good. And I do like that, right? So that's cool. That's it. This video both was requested and I got inspired to do it from the Discord once again. There's gonna be a bunch of links in the comments down below. Not the comments, I'm sorry, in the description down below. Those, full disclosure, are gonna be affiliate links. What does that mean? That means that when you go to on Amazon and buy anything, not just the products I linked you, if you go to Amazon from the links I sent you and buy anything, I get like a minuscule cut, right? It's like a little support you can do for me. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's like always good to say that, right? That those are affiliate links. And if you buy it from someone else, I don't mind. Just do it, okay? Anyway, this is the hair video. Shy out. Bye. Yes, you probably read the title wrong. Read it again, Pookie Bear. But also, yes, this video is about what you misread in the title. I wanna talk about the great master debating techniques of ancient Greece. No, but seriously, number one, this is gonna be a very serious topic, and I mean this, right? No jokes this time, or at least I'm trying to have no jokes. This is like very hard in the Shyaren Gremlin video, okay? But this is gonna be a topic that I don't think too many people talk about, either because it's like embarrassing or because like, I don't know, that didn't have family or friends or whatever to talk about it, right? So I want to talk about it here. You can choose if you want to watch it or not. It is a video about pleasure, if you get what I mean. So I don't know, watch for your own discretion. Be like 16, 18 plus, depending on how old you think a person should be to watch a video like that. There's no pictures. There's like only me talking about it. And because I don't think many people do know how much actually changes with HRT. And this video specifically is talking about, obviously, the feminizing HRT, the estrogen, when you have a male assigned body and you take the HRT, right? So because that's like my experiences about those things. I'm also gonna link multiple videos from the creator's explanation. Yes, you heard the name correctly, who has like hundreds and hundreds of videos of very educational content in a lighthearted way where you can learn everything. She has multiple videos specifically for like trans people and genderqueer people, which will be linked directly below. But you can also just browse her channel because there's like so many things you can see, right? And I basically found her channel pretty fast after she created it, like almost 12 years ago. By this point now she has like over 1 million subscribers and many, many helpful videos. And honestly, the problem here is that like sex education is like not really happening in a lot of places nowadays. Like some schools try, some parents try, but either like the parents are too embarrassed or maybe the child is too embarrassed to like talk with that about the parents, right? So even having like the talk about the bees and the honey and the pollen and you know what, that like that's already like hard. It gets even harder when something like being trans is involved, right? Because things might be different. People might have different equipment. People might need different things. You might have dysphoria about specific things and specific activities, right? But all in all, many people Obviously not including like asexual people and stuff like that, right? But many people do have the desire for the release, the feeling for that kind of thing, right? And it's a total human thing to do. You can do it, you're allowed to do it. It's like your genetically given toy that comes installed for free. You might not have the exact same toy version that you want, but it's still something you can use if you want to. And there are different ways to do so. So now that that is out of the way, I know it's like 3 minutes into the video, I'm gonna say at this point, before we go like into the meat and potatoes of this videos, or like the peaches and the cucumbers of this video, this video, I did a warning on my Discord, is YouTube centric. You can discuss everything about this video in the YouTube comments. You can even go like on Blue Sky and ask a question, but you cannot go to my Discord and ask questions about this video, okay? The Discord, for reasons beyond comprehension, beyond your comprehension. No, the Discord basically is a safe for workplace. You can just come and enjoy. It's a lighthearted place. Like basically all not safe for work topics are not liked to be seen there. So please do try to keep your questions here on YouTube. Anyway, let's get into it. It was like a minute of warning yapping. That's what was like way too young, much anyway. So this is the big thing. I'm just gonna say it right now. For not yet surgery having trans femmes out there, but you have HRT, you need to know something because this is a warning. While it did not happen to me, I know that it can happen to people, and I know that it does happen. Do you know what one of the effects of HRT is? Thinner skin. Do you know what one of your God-given equipment pieces is made of? Skin. So when you tame the dragon, it is not recommended after a certain point on HRT to basically use your hands anymore. That's like, honestly, not talking about dysphoria or anything, or what you like or what you don't like. It is actually recommended and advised to, at a certain point, not have the skin-to-skin friction like that anymore, because you can actually hurt yourself, right? Because skin gets thinner, things can rip, it can hurt, it can bleed, it can be horrible. Which is why last video, which some of you might or might not have seen, I recommended something like a WAND, and in this video I can say, yeah, it's a wand. It's like a magic wand. There's the Hitachi one, which is like very popular, and there's like all kinds of other brands, but honestly, they mostly do the same, right? They are like vibrators, right? And they can be strong, they're like different levels basically, right? So it is literally recommended to find like different ways to find your release at that point. And you know what? Let's drink something, actually. It's been yapping for 6 minutes. So there are different ways to do so. Some people like to look at some media while they have fun. Some people like to do it with a partner. And it is recommended, if you have fun with a partner, there's a thing. It's called loop. You should probably use it. It's it's like a normal thing to do. Okay. Also, if you have any fun with your backdoor equipment, stuff like that works as well. Talking about backdoor equipment, there are things you can do if that is something you want to do. Not saying you have to, but there are people who want to do it. And I know that like many trans femmes out there specifically, either people who do not want surgery, and that is totally okay as well, or people who did not have surgery as well yet, and that is also okay. Wanna like do the like penetrating move, you know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, to do so, obviously you can't really do it from the front. That's like awkward. So you kind of do it from the back. And to do so, there's like a few ways, right? And I'm talking about things now I learned over the years. I'm, again, 32 years old. I've basically seen everything there is to see. There are like multiple tools you can use to slowly but surely increase the opening, and slowly but surely make it more pleasurable and make it more manageable. Because depending on who your partner is, what your partner is rocking, or what toys you want to play with, you might like start to like build up to that point in life, right? You can't just listen. You can't go like that one meme video and be like, this goes into the square hole, this goes into the square hole, this goes into the square hole. No, you need to start with the circle, then you need to go to the triangle and maybe work your way up towards the square. You cannot start with the square hole, okay? Listen to me. You cannot start with the square hole. Listen to me. So that's that. And to do that, there's like multiple things. And my God, if you have been on the internet for any amount of time, maybe you've even been like one of those websites where you can buy all kinds of like toy equipments, right? And I'm not talking about Legos. Don't use Legos, by the way. I have seen some horror stories on like Reddit of people losing like various stuff in their back door. And that's you do not want to explain that to a doctor, right? So if you do use something, always make like sure you have a flared end. And I'm not saying this is a meme. I'm saying this is a safety reason. Use something that has a flared end, so it like doesn't like go to Narnia. You always want to have a way back from Narnia, if you get what I mean, right? So that's what you want to have. But now let's go back to the front, right? Let's say you have not had the surgery yet, right? Of course, you can still use your hands. They exist, but you have to be more careful, right? Don't like try to be like Cowboy Bill and yoink the reins or whatever and be like, yeah, 24/7, right? That's like, that's a little bit weird. So be more careful. You can also try to use various toys, and of course there's not just like the wands, there's like other toys you can do as well. I'm gonna let you discover those as well. And of course Explanation has a lot of like methods and stuff as well. I really recommend watching her videos about it, right? But now let's talk about very quickly about surgery, right? There are basically two types of surgeries you can have. One of them is called zero depth surgery. It's basically where your equipment gets removed and like a tiny hole is being made. And you can use that for pleasure, but like a male partner, for example, with male equipment would not be able to insert the whole key at once, because that's why it's called zero depth. Then there's also the vaginoplasty, which I'm pretty sure it's called, which is like the full-on recreation of the female counterparts in like your body, which comes with all kinds of benefits, but it's like more complicated to do, probably more expensive to do, and also needs a little bit of like maintenance. Listen, this is like gonna like going way into the medical thing, but like there's a thing called having to dilate, especially at the beginning. So if you do want the surgery, look up what dilating is. Look up if you're like comfortable doing that for the few weeks and months after the surgery. And then even after you're done with that, you have to do it like once or twice a week, right? And it's something you have to find time for. It's something you need to keep in mind of that exists in your life from that point onward, right? So just so you know, right? So that's about surgery. And then also, where was I? Wait. There's other things about HRT, right? For example, one thing I talked about very early on, if you remember my analogy about coconut milk versus normal milk, there's a bunch of things that happens in your body on HRT. One of the things that does happen, which you either might enjoy or you might not enjoy, is the thing that there's no more refractionary period. And that's basically the thing where most guys out there will have a one and done session and then they need to refuel the tanks. That doesn't really happen with you anymore, right? Most people who are on HRT for a specific amount of time will be able to have the magical word, which I'm going to say, we're like 12 minutes into this video, I can say it now, multiple orgasms. Okay, that's something that just happens, right? You have unlocked a new talent in your talent tree. You can do it multiple times in a row. It's still gonna feel good. It's still gonna feel nice. It's something that has like preferences, right? You might enjoy that. You might not enjoy that. You might be like, oh my God, what do you mean there's more? What do you mean there's more cookies after I've eaten my first cookie? The first cookie was enough for me. I spit on my screen again. Oh my God, I keep spitting on my screen. I keep mentioning it in the videos. I'm just yapping too much. So that's one thing, right? Then, depending on the person, depending on if you take like testosterone blockers or how high your estrogen levels are, you might notice that there's like no more juice coming out at some point, or the juice might be different. And that is like normal as well. It gets like more and more to the stage of being like see-through and more like a liquid and less like a sticky thingy, right? That just happens. Then, of course, we're gonna talk about something like eregious zones. Is that the word? Zones that can be erect. Basically, everybody has those, right? You might know that for most women out there, of course, like stuff like the typical clitoris and stuff like that, the boobies, they are like, what is the word called? oh my God, I don't know, you know what I mean, right? These are zones that can get erect, that feel pleasure and stuff like that. And for most men, it's obviously going to be the penis and it's obviously going to be like the prostate, right? So those can and will change as well. Like at some point in like breast development, you will notice that like touching the breast feels good as well. And that is 100% normal. That's just what happens. It's just what HRT does, okay? You get breasts with everything that comes with that. And you might like that. You might not like that because like, just like having a too like tight shirt and feeling your breasts tingle might not be the best experience in like broad daylight while you're like grocery shopping or something like that. So like that's something you just have to keep in mind with. And also comes with HRT. Let me think what else there is. Of course, there's like the whole emotional thing. I've read on like multiple subreddits about trans people, specifically trans women, that while they still enjoy the doing of the doing, both pre and after surgery, most of the time it takes them like longer. Like, I don't know, if you had like a male puberty and if you rode the horse on a male puberty, you might have noticed that sometimes it's like a 5-minute one and done session, right? You're just like, stress relief, go, next one, right? We're going back to playing League of Legends or something like that. That's not really how things work anymore. Like, you can probably get away with doing like a quickie. But most of the time, what's like most fun is when you're one, in the correct headspace, when you're two, actually like are in the mood, you wanna do it, you take your time, you slowly get there. And I'm telling you, slow and steady is the way to win the race. Because slow and steady, it's gonna be way better than Fast and Furious. Okay, the movies suck anyway. So that's just something that you should know, in my opinion. Let me address some more things from like the last video that I did made. I specifically titled it My First Goon a little bit as a clickbait, and obviously it worked. Because I find it like very important that people do talk about these things. I had many people asking me like, why the fuck would I post it? But I had other people also thanking me that I posted it and talked like openly about these things, right? And I try to be open about most things in my life with you guys here, especially stuff like transitioning and what happens with it, right? But I try to keep it like in a separate video like this, so it's not like in a normal like HRT update video, right? Because, you know, it's a very specific topic that not everybody wants to see. I also had some very few people being like, how can I post something like that? Some young, impressionable people could see it. And then again, that's like the same comment that basically the bigots and the right-wing people are saying, where we need to have censorship on everything because, oh my God, we need to protect the kids. Listen, my channel is marked as not for kids on every single video on all 5 channels that I have, right? So in theory, like nobody underage should be able to see these videos. And even when I do talk about the topics, the way I talk about the topics, I'm pretty sure is like on the lower end of like insanity out there. There's like some stuff you can see on YouTube. This is both for like sexual stuff and both for like disgusting stuff and even like war crime stuff you can literally see on YouTube that's out there, right? So I think my content is very mild, so please relax, right? So I hope this video did help some people. I hope you did learn something. I hope you like didn't find it too embarrassing to see this notification while you were with your family eating dinner and you tried to put on a YouTube video of a funny cat on your home TV screen or something. Anyway, shy out. Hope this helped and I'll see you later. Bye. Today, we are getting you feminized all the way up. We're talking about the best feminizing items that you can get out there. And this is important, we're only talking about external things. That means clothes, that means like products, that means like accessories, all that kind of things that you can do with your body, basically. We're not talking about any kind of medicine, and we're not talking about any kind of like voice ring or stuff like that, right? This list is gonna be for anybody who wants to be more feminine, right? That can be my fellow like trans women and trans girlies out there. That can be my femboys, because I have some people that are like femboys watching my videos. Hi, and shout out to you, by the way. Leave a comment, please. And hey, how you doing? And last disclaimer before we start. Clothes are generally not gendered and products are not gendered. But in the society we currently do live in, we live in a society. Sadly, many of things that exist are gendered. So those things I have chosen are gendered very highly on the feminine spectrum, if you want to call it that. So yeah, let's get into it and get into our little tier list. Alrighty then, here we are at the tier list. And just saying, for every single item that I have here, for all 17 items, there will be links in the description down below. Amazon affiliate links, if that matters to you, where you can see what kind of item can help with it. It will always have like a line what the link is for, and then the product below that. Sometimes it's the exact product shown on the picture. Sometimes, like with hair and with the nails, we're gonna get to that, right? It's gonna be like a whole type of like product list. So let's continue, and you will notice on the scaling here we have a triple S plus, we have S, A, B, and C. We don't have E, D, or whatever, right? Because like I obviously only chose items that have like a desired effect, but we still have like differentiating things, right? So we're gonna start with the first thing here, and the picture is pretty tiny, right? I would say, like on the picture we have a ring. And with rings, I mean all kinds of accessories, right? That might be like necklaces, that could be rings, that could be like little armbands or something like that, right? And why I'm only putting that into A is because, number one, not everybody does like to wear them, right? While I put that on the list, I personally, maybe because of ADHD or something, I really don't like having like things on my body that much, right? So I personally don't wear a lot of accessories a lot of the time. Also, there are a lot of men wearing accessories as well, but there are like specific accessories obviously for women, because everything out there in the world is gender nowadays. So yeah, we're gonna have that here. Then next up, and we do have that to kind of put that into a triple S plus, right? We have the typical thigh-high socks, either associated very highly with memes of trans girls or with memes of femboys, right? And this is, I think, one of those items, while I do say clothes are not gendered, and they are not. A cisgendered male person who isn't in the category of femboy, saying that, right, probably does not want to wear those, right? They are comfortable, they are warm, they are stylish, but you will typically only see this type of clothing item on somebody who wants to present in a feminine way, right? So that's our first triple S plus. Next up, we do have shaving, and I'm gonna put shaving into S, and that is gonna be a whole lot big discussion here, right? Because you do not have to shave, okay? There are women who don't shave, and that is valid, right? You should only ever shave if you want to shave, and that is like every single part of your body, right? Like I personally, I do shave. Thankfully I don't have that much like facial hair, right? But whatever hair I do have, I do shave. Every once in a while, I do my arms, right? And like other parts in the body as well. And to represent the whole act of shaving here, I do have a little like electrical razor here, which can also be used in the bikini zone pretty harmlessly. In case you do want to shave in like these kind of like positions. But in general, I do put it on S because, again, society in general sees like women that are shaven, clean shaven, as more feminine. They shouldn't, okay? But I'm just saying that is the society and the world we kind of live in, right? Which is why I'm putting it to S. Next up, we do have facial stuff, or like basically more hygiene stuff. And actually, I might even push it up here to triple S. I have like a CeraVe facial cleanser here, just as a placeholder for all kinds of items you could potentially put here, right? But that is like your moisturizers, that's your blemish control, that's your cleansers, that's basically everything hydration-wise you can do with your face, which one will help you look younger, two will help you to not get like them wrinkles and all them stuffs and have like smoother skin. And yes, if you are at some point on medication, estrogen, for example, does help with smoother skin. But like your general, like, I wanted to say healthcare, that's not the right word. Your general, like, what is the word? Jesus Christ, help me. Your general routine of like facial care and stuff like that does matter a lot, right? Next up, we have a little push-up bra, and I'm gonna put that into S because, again, you don't need to wear a bra. And I don't like the standard that women after a certain size of boobiness are kind of expected to wear a bra. Of course, at some point, you might want to wear a bra just for your personal comfort, because when it's like flopping and moving all around in there, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be uncomfortable, so you might want to wear a bra. But the bras I have here specifically are the sports bras, which you can wear even when the boobies are not existing yet or still growing, right? To just give like more form in the body, like under a shirt or something, right? So that is something you can do. Because guess what? Boobs are generally considered to be a feature of feminine people and women, okay? Next up, and I have like 2 items here. And this one I am gonna put into A, which is protein. I just picked a random protein product. This is not to endorse this specific brand, by the way. Protein in general, you are, if you take HRT, for example, you are in a new puberty, which means you need to make sure to get like all your micros, all your macros, all your proteins, all of your vitamins and all that kind of bullshit, right? And if, for example, you are a person that lives vegetarian or vegan, it's going to be like exponentially harder for you to get protein. Yes, there are plant things as well that have protein in them. But if those are things you don't like to eat or don't have regularly in your diet, you might want to think about like a protein supplement. And in general, I think most people in the world have like too little protein, honestly, right? And next up, we do have a biotin. And biotin, I'm gonna put into like A as well, but honestly higher on the A, because, hello, can you like, thank you. If you don't know what biotin does, right? Biotin helps with smoother skin as well, but most importantly, biotin does help with nail growth, nail strength, hair growth, and hair strength. So if you want to get your hair longer, if you want to like strengthen your hair, because longer hair, and we're going to get to that, is like a point of like being more feminine as well, then maybe you want to take some biotin, right? Again, there are ways to get biotin via like shampoo and stuff like that as well. But honestly, the easiest way is to just have a biotin supplement that you just take every X amount of days. Just make sure to read the goddamn packaging, how many pills you should take in a week, and don't take more. Because even though it's a good thing, you never want more, right? Next up, and I think this is going to be our first B, I have perfume here. Again, ignore the brand, I just grabbed the picture. Feminine perfume, and not only perfume, I'm going to put like feminine body wash, feminine shampoo, feminine conditioner, all those kinds of things, right, do help to make your general smell more feminine. Your smell, if you do take HRT, is one of the first things that does change, and that helps quite a lot, right? But if you, for example, don't have access yet to the medicine or don't want to take the medicine, then your second best option literally is to use products that are usually scented in a way that is meant for female people, right? Or for feminine people. That means all your flowery scents, all your fruity scents, right? All your sweet scents. So yeah, get a perfume that you like. Like many stores have like testers where you can smell them. Don't go all out and buy like $100 perfume, right? Start with like a $10, $15 perfume that you think smells nice. Get like a conditioner and a shampoo and like a body wash and like smells you like as well. Because believe me, if you are a person that showers in the morning and then you leave the house, people can still smell that. And more importantly, you can smell it. And that's amazing, right? Next up, I have a little handbag here, and I think I'm gonna put that in S, and like in the third slot is gonna be okay. Handbags are like the fashion item, and I'm gonna call it a fashion item and not like a bag carrying item, because that is what it is. That is like considered to be related to women, right? Because women most often do not have a lot of pockets on their clothes, so they will carry another bag. And we're not talking about like a bag to go to work to or something, but like a bag to go to an event or something, right? A bag that you generally have with you. And you can put like your phone in there, your pads in there, and all those kinds of things. There can be medication in there, there can be an aspirin in there, who knows what's in the bag, right? Only you know, right? But get a cute bag that looks a little bit feminine, because those bags are like one of the best signs to show the world, oh man, I'm a woman, or I present female. Next up, we do have little gizmos here. I am only gonna put them to be, but I wanted to have them on the list. I have like little keychains from Sanrio here. But basically, if you have a phone, maybe put a dongle on there that looks cute. If you have a bag already, maybe put like some keychains or some dongles in there. If you have like a belt, maybe hang like a labubu on there. That's a meme, do not take labubu, but like something anywhere, right? That looks cute, because like, again, same as with rings and what is it called? Rings and necklaces and all that kind of stuff. So additional accessories all often is considered to be feminine, right? Next up, we do have dress, and I am gonna put that in triple S, because again, while I do say clothes are not gendered, if you wear a dress, most people will assume you want to present feminine. And yes, you can look to places like Scotland with their like kilts and stuff like that, where you have clothes that look similar, which are obviously meant for men. But in most places in the world, if you wear a full-on dress, that's considered feminine, right? So that's why we're putting that there. Next up, it's also gonna be triple S, and that's gonna be the skirt, right? And if you are starting out, you can just go like with a very long skirt, because it perfectly hides everything, hides your legs or whatever the hell, whatever, right? It's just a long skirt. Some of them even come with pockets. You just need to be careful to buy one that comes with pockets. And that's going to be great for you. And they are like smaller skirts as well. Then we do have a nail care. I'm going to put that all the way to the front of S. I'm not going to put it to triple S, because again, especially in certain circles like rock band, for example, many men will have like painted nails as well. And I think painted nails is one of the cliches we're finally getting away from, where it's like way more acceptable nowadays for men to have like painted nails than it was like 10 years ago, right? People will probably still look weird at a person, which, yes, that is homophobic or transphobic, in a man that wears a dress. But very little people nowadays will look weird at a person who they think is a man and is wearing like little, what's it called? Nail polish, right? So pick a nail polish color that you like. I personally do like my reds. I like my blacks, especially I like red and black together, right? I've also tried green, but I feel like green is more like a Christmas season kind of thing. And for the link section down below, for the nails, you technically need a lot of items. If you don't have any of them, I have them all listed. You want a nail file to take care of your nails. I recommend a glass nail file. You want some kind of like top coat and a base coat, right? So base coat means you put it onto your nail before you put the nail polish on. Top coat means you put it onto your nail after the nail polish is on. So you put like 3 products in total onto your nail. Sometimes top coat and base coat are one and the same. I am linking you one from Essie that is one of the same that I'm using myself, that I'm happy with. And then you can take whatever color you want, right? And then lastly, for nails, I'm also linking you a cuticle oil. That is not needed if you are totally happy like with your nails and with your fingers and stuff like that. But whenever you do remove your nail polish, and at some point you have to remove it, I'm sorry to tell you, you're gonna use nail polish remover. Nail polish remover will automatically like dry out your hands. So after that, you can put like nail and cuticle oil over all of your nails and like all the skin, so it gets like rehydrated. Next, we have long hair, and believe it or not, I'm only putting long hair in the A category because again, men can have long hair as well. All kinds of people can have long hair. I personally love my long hair, and I want as long hair as possible, as my body basically lets me, right? Even though it's a lot of stuff to take care of. But yeah, that's one of the easiest ways, if you have very short hair, to like signal to the world, hey, I'm girly, I'm feminine, I have long hair now. And then next up, also talking about hair, we have bangs, which is obviously a hairstyle, which I am going to put into triple S, because believe it or not, bangs most of the time is style only feminine people wear, all right? And it's so recommended for especially like trans women to get like bangs. It is like a meme at this point, right? But so I had to put it in here. Next up, we do have mascara over here, or eyeshadow. Sorry, not mascara. We have eyeshadow. I picked the black one because that's the one I personally like the most. Again, many like men can wear this as well, specifically in like scenes like rock bands, metal bands, stuff like that. But in general, it's makeup. Makeup for most people is something feminine, even though there is makeup specifically for men. So we have those, right? And last but not least, we do have our little hand warmers here. I am only, believe it or not, even though I'm a big defender of these like Resto hand warmers, I'm only gonna put them into the S tier. Because while I do freaking love them, you cannot really wear them to all occasions. First of all, you're not gonna wear goddamn hand warmers, wrist warmers in the summer when it's warm, right? If you do, my god, good job. You're a better human, stronger human being than me, because I could never. So yeah, that is the list. We turned out nothing in the C tier list because, hey, I only picked items that I would think would work very well to give you like a more feminine look. If you want any of the set items below, you can click any of the links and you purchase anything over Amazon. If you click any of the links, you support me. And thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe. Check out the Patreon, which is also in the description down below. And hey, maybe join the Discord. You talk with other like-minded people and stuff like that, right? Anyway, shy out. Goodbye. Happy girling. Cookies, have you ever wondered what are breasts? How do they look like? What do they do? What are they there for? Are they just here to cuddle? Are they just here to look nice? Are they just here to give us back pain? No, there is not. Listen, one thing I've noticed over and over and over again, and maybe you had this happen to you as well. There will be people on multiple kinds of like subreddits or anywhere really, and they are concerned that they're like boobylicious, like boobies don't look right. They don't look correct. They don't look like how boobies look. And do you know why that is? Unless you are like a giga chat or like a giga chatette, okay? In your normal day-to-day life, you will probably not see that many boobies from people in your life, from like normal people, right? You don't just go around and ask people to see that, right? So maybe you have a partner and you see their boobies. Maybe back in the day as a child, you saw your mom's. Maybe you have boobies yourself, right? Your example base of like boobies, not that high. And you know, that's normal. That is normal. So there's a project which I want to talk about. It is a website where people post their boobies anonymously. Obviously, you can't see faces or whatever. The whole purpose of this website is to post little pictures of boobies, obviously non-sexualized, so we're gonna get to that, and put like a little description down there of like who they are, like how old they are and stuff like that, if they've been pregnant, if they have not been pregnant, just so other women can like look at those pictures and be like, oh, my boobies totally look normal, nothing is wrong with them. And especially on like not Discords, what is it called, especially on Reddits, that happens like a lot where people ask that question. Talking about Reddit, this video is sponsored by r/cringe queen. It's gonna be in the top comment down below as well. And when I say sponsored, I obviously mean sponsored by myself. Don't get on my case, YouTube. I have a subreddit which I have advertised in the Discord recently. If you've been there, there's some posts for now, and I'm just gonna talk about it in a few videos now in case you want to go there. I do read the subreddit as well, and once the like enough people populate the thing, we will make videos about it as well. So let's go back to boobies. Here is a thing you need to know. There are like two types of boobies you will mostly see in your life, right? One, it is gonna be anime boobies or like cartoon boobies, and two, you're gonna see boobies from like corn and stuff like that, from like all the websites. And obviously those are like most of the time people with either like exceptionally cool looking bodies or like people that maybe or may not have done work and stuff like that, right? So your like average example in your brain of how like boobies look like is like very twisted, really it is. So somebody made a website and I found it a while ago. And I'm just gonna read the description here. There will be a link to a Reddit down below, and in the Reddit you will be able to find the link to this website, because I don't think YouTube would like me directly linking this website. Okay, so it has an introduction here. Have you ever seen non-sexualized photos of normal breasts? And I did not before I found this website. A huge proportion of American women are not happy with their breasts, and I'm pretty sure you can strike the American there and just say huge proportion of women, right? The media image makes them believe the ideal is big and perky breasts with small nipples and areola. But in reality, female breasts come in all sizes and shapes. That is true. These breast pictures are here to let you see normal breasts, big, small, sagging, asymmetrical, big areolas, or nipples. In fact, having asymmetrical breasts where one is larger than the other is very common. And I see like so many people like saying that they complain about that basically, but it's so normal. Most women have one breast slightly larger than the other. Sagging is very common also, because due to gravity, the breasts naturally assume a hanging position. Believe it or not, your boobies are amazing and they can do so many things, but they have no chance against gravity, okay? Also, as we all know, sizes vary a lot. That applies to the guys out there as well. Sizes vary a lot. Some women have practically a flat chest. Some have small breasts. Some have much bust that there might be weight that causes them backaches. Yeah, that does happen. According to the bra industry, the most common bra size, bra cup size in the US used to be B, but now it's become a C, probably due to the increased obesity. Not just that, honestly. There probably are studies, but I am not 100% sure of like a specific study, but I'm like so sure. Have you like noticed, in case you're like a little bit older, maybe like me, like maybe your late 20s, early 30s, or even older, right? That like teenagers nowadays develop like way quicker than before, especially the girls, right? Especially the women develop like way faster. And like, dude, if you like look at people, and that is like probably due to like all the like freaking things we put in our food, right? That is like, of course there's like hormones, it's like that's known, right? That there's like antibiotics and shit like that, and like that is being fed to like some animals, and of course some residue of that remains in there when you eat it as well. There's like all those kinds of things, and of course there's like fast food and stuff like that as well. There's probably a small bit of like the obesity thing as well, but pretty sure if you compare like teenage girls from like 50 years ago to like teenage girls nowadays there will be like a scale going upwards in like how fast, how early, and how fast like boobies and stuff like that develop, right? That's just what I observed since I grew up to now. Okay, going on, the website says, of course, the height is not constant, but varies with pregnancy, breastfeeding, and during the menstrual cycle. So it can change as well. Many young people growing up never see what normal natural breasts look like. Yeah, and of course, like the US wants to like even make that less possible now with like all the freaking like censorship and shit by the media. Think that big breasts are ideal, may end up opting for breast implants to quote-unquote correct their breasts when their breasts were normal all the time. In fact, most teenage girls worry and fret over their breast development. Many freaking trans women also worry over their breast development, which is why I'm making this video. Babe, if you're like 8 months HRT, 2 years HRT, your boobies are not yet where you like want them to be, give it time, because like normal, like freaking teenage cycles take like up to 5 years as well. Many end up, oh yeah, we overread that, blah, 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 blah. In fact, most people, we already read that as well. This breast taboo is even causing guys to become obsessed about breasts. No, really? I didn't know that. And it's part of the reason why people get addicted to porn. Okay, real talk right now. I don't want to like, this is like a short break on the video topic. I don't want to like talk it down that people actually get addicted to porn, and I am pretty sure it does happen, but like how I don't understand. You're like chasing the feeling you get while watching porn, you know, while you write your masterwork and stuff like that. What? I mean, I'm like so sure it happens, right? And it must be a big problem because like obviously we wanna ban like all not safe for work games. We wanna ban all not safe for work content on the website, and all over the world they're having like programs right now to remove not safe for work content from like teenagers. So it has to be a problem, I guess. But like I've never known anybody that had that happen to them, and I can't even understand how did that happen. So again, not to talk the point down, I'm pretty sure it happens. If that happened to you, or you know anybody who was like addicted to porn, please tell me in the comments and like how that like played out, because I'm like so interested. Okay, back to the video topic. Then down here, obviously I'm not gonna show you the pictures, but there's like one person here, the very first on the website. I'm just gonna read what they said. Of course, there's a picture of their boys. I'm 26, never been pregnant. My weight fluctuates some, but I've lost 40 pounds over the last decade, 20 of which was in the last 6 months. In this picture, I am 160. My tatas have always sagged a little, but now they are kind of flat. And when I bend over, they remind me of cow tits. I mean, I can laugh because the person wrote that about themselves, okay? The girls are much smaller than they used to be. Right now, I generally wear a 32 DDD/F on my period. I might go up to a G cup. They are very soft, squishy, and pliable. For example, I can touch my nipple and my nose and my belly button. Growing up with your breast, it's crazy. Growing up, I was the chubby kid in our family, and I failed this sense of, well, you're fat, but at least you've got big boobs. Well, I hate that people make you feel that. You're valid either way. Well, now my boobs are approaching an average size and they sag. And I still need to lower my body fat percentages, which means they will sag even more. This has been shaking my self-confidence more than I thought it would. This site has definitely helped me stabilize it though. Thanks so much. And there's like hundreds and hundreds of stories here of like people posting their boobaliciously boobies with like little sentences, basically like all ages as well, right? So you do like not have to worry about anything. Again, I am gonna link the Reddit post, and the Reddit post has the link to this website in case you're interested in looking at it, okay? So this is basically the video idea, because like most of the time I wanted to like talk about ADHD. What are you doing, my brain? Where is it right now? Wait. Because like most of the time when you actually do see breasts, it's like very sexualized, or it's like freaking animated. Like you don't even know how much hen in ties are running around nowadays. I mean, I love me a chicken like the next girl, right? But like what the hell so much of it? And these like freaking henty artists love to exaggerate like body proportions, especially on the baby feeding machine. Sorry, I shouldn't call it that. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, shy out. Bye. Welcome. Today I want to do a little HR tier list, and you know what? I made my own because I didn't like any of the ones I found online. Most of them only had text or had like many things in there which I not even gonna talk about because they either don't apply or didn't happen or whatever. So I made my own one and I'm gonna present it to you now. Look at that. So before you look at the pictures, we have 5 tiers only. We have triple S. These are super amazing. Then we have A tier, neutral, and no. And I'm gonna talk about through them when we go through here, right? And I have a few things in here. Some of them have words on them, some of them are just pictures, but I will explain all of them. And please go along and tell me in the comment section down below which of those you agree with and which of those you're like still waiting for, okay? So obviously a lot of things can happen on HRT, and you should look at like a medical website to see like what can happen. Some of those are mental, some of those are physical, some of those are feelings wise, right? But yeah, let's get started. So of course the first one here is shrinking, and that's gonna be in triple S for me because I'm like 186 centimeters, and that's a lot. I don't know what it is in like feet. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna convert it into frame units, but yeah, I'm tall. I would like to have like a few centimeters like shoved off, and if I remember correctly, that's like basically because like your hips kind of like rotate like a little bit. It sounds super weird, right? But it does happen, and through that you get like a little bit like tinier. And that's nice. I don't really mind being tall, but like a little bit shorter would be great. Then we're gonna have like small hands, and those are like, I'm gonna put like in like neutral. That's literally because like muscles are like getting reduced in your whole body with HRT, or like, yeah, wait, they are getting reduced and like fat is getting redistributed. And I guess like women naturally have like smaller hands, so your hands might get smaller, right? But then we go to like something different, something very important that has plagued me my entire life, and that's gonna be in triple S tier, small feet. Similar to your hands, basically, it is possible, and happens to many people actually, that you get smaller feet, aka a smaller shoe size. Sadly, it's not gonna help me like that much, because like, yes, I'm tall, which also means that sadly, I have to wear like sizes 46 to 48 in Germany, in European sizes. That's big shoes, okay? That's like big shoes, and you can't really find like cute shoes in that like big variation, right? In that size. So I only have to order them online and then see if they fit or not. Like, even going only down like 1 or 2 sizes would help me a lot. And I have noticed that more brands of 46s can already fit me better. So if it like goes down a bit more, would be amazing. Then we have body hair, and this is like something that many people would probably have in S tier, right? I'm gonna have it in triple S tier as well. And that's like for 2 things, right? Obviously, your body hair doesn't completely go away. Women have body hair. Women have a lot of body hair, actually. Like, even on the face, like the peach fuzz and stuff like that. And you can shave it off if it's annoying you, but, like, you don't have to, right? Women have hair. But, like, hair in general will grow slower. So it takes longer to, like, regrow after you shave it away. It will get thinner, so maybe you won't even feel like that you have or want to shave it because it looks like thinner. You can, like, barely see it and stuff like that. And you might even get as lucky, but that does not happen to everybody, that some parts of body hair, like, stops completely. But that's, like, different for all the people. Then I have a better sleep. I'm only gonna put this in A, because I'm gonna be honest, I had like pretty good sleep before, like listening to ASMR. But I feel like now, after like a good 6, 7, 8 hours sleep, I feel like super refreshed and ready for the day. So that's super amazing, obviously, because we need sleep. Otherwise, how the F are you gonna like go to the next day? Also, hydrate. Bring something with me. Good job on hydrating. Then I have softer skin. This is like overall on your body, your skin can get softer. I'm just gonna put this in A. I do enjoy it, but it's like not something I was particularly looking forward to. And fun fact, which I only learned recently, because of the softer skin, it is possible, it's softer, aka more see-through, right? It is possible that you can like develop new freckles, new birthmarks. Well, they're technically not new, they have been there forever, but now because the skin is like softer and thinner, you can now actually see them when before you couldn't. And we're gonna have our first like tier, which is body temperature changes, right? The fact is that most of the time, women are like more susceptible to cold than men. And I was already very susceptible to cold, but it has gotten worse. It has gotten so much worse. I'm like so cold all the freaking time. I have to wear so many clothes. I have to put the heater on all the time. So I'm freezing 24/7, literally, okay? And then we have smell. And I am gonna put this in S tier. Of course, women still smell. You still have like body odor, you still like smell if you're sweat and stuff like, but this is a different smell, right? It is a different smell, and that is one of the things that happens the fastest on HRT as soon as you take the hormones. This can happen even after like 2 or 3 weeks, and you will notice that, right? That suddenly you smell different. Then mental changes, that has to be like an S tier for me as well, because one, I got like so much more happier, and I think that has to do with literally your brain getting rewired, but also being happier like with all the changes, getting out of depression for some people and stuff like that. But also like my brain seems to like work different, right? It likes the estrogen a lot more. Then I have like softer nails, and I'm actually gonna put this into the nose section, right? Because I sadly always had problems with my nails. I was like a big nail biter for many, many years of my life, and I kind of destroyed like my nail beds. And then it slowly has gotten better with my nails. I've been like using some stuff you can put in the nails to harden and stuff like that, but they do get softer, which makes it way easier for the nails to like rip and tear. And sadly, that has happened to me a few times. I wish I had like harder nails, but hey, you can't pick and choose your HRT level up set, sadly. Then, I mean, it's only like, it's not really an HRT thing, but I wanted to put this on here anyway. You can dress cutely. It's 100% a triple S tier because, hey, it's amazing. You have the confidence now. You can dress cutely and be a little cutie patootie. Also, this is gonna be like in A tier. You suddenly feel the urge to nom other people, and every other like cutie patootie you run across on, you wanna like cuddle them, you wanna have physical contact, you wanna like nom them, and that's like, I mean, it is good, but it can be annoying at some points. So it's only gonna be 8 here. And then your emotions, I am gonna put those in neutral for now. This might change over time, but like your emotions get like wider and more intense, right? So the sad emotions are gonna be sadder, the happy emotions are gonna be happier, and it's like easier for things to feel like you're not just like okay all the time. You actually have like a range of emotions, and I'm still not sure how to deal with that. So for now, I'm gonna leave that in neutral. Then you're gonna have like way more energy and be addicted to energy drinks in case you're like a little gremlin just as me and have like ADHD. I'm just gonna put that in A tier as well. Now we have like 2 things here. One of them will probably happen to you, right? Either you will turn into a princess Lamau, right? And I'm gonna put both of those in S tier, or you're gonna turn into a gremlin, right? There's like only 2 modes for a trans person to be, like a trans woman to be. Either you turn to the cutest, patootiest princess ever be, or you are a freaking gremlin. And I think I have like phases where I'm both. I have phases where I'm a gremlin, and I have phases where I am a freaking cutie patootie princess. Now we're gonna have to loot things, right? That's like all the things related to your libido, all the things related to things you might do at night, the very unchristian things we cannot talk about. And I have to say those for me are triple tier as well. Like with everything that did change, I did enjoy like all the changes that happened. And yeah, like it's lower libido, different things that happens, things feel different, things happen differently, and that's cool. Then can cry. For now, only A tier. This is like related to the emotions, right? It's like easier for people to cry. And I have noticed that, like I freaking cried when Kirby Air Riders, the new game, got announced. It's not gonna be triple S tier, because like it hasn't happened that many times to me yet. But I do enjoy like a good cry. Then you're gonna be a very gorgeous. Okay, this is gonna be only an A tier, not a triple S tier, because being very gorgeous comes with some like debuffs as well. And that is like people might suddenly start to talk with you. Strangers will suddenly start to talk with you. Like even though you don't wanna. Like at the beginning you might be like, that's kind of cool. People are giving me attention. But at some point you're gonna be like, why are these people talking to me? I don't wanna talk with them. I just wanna buy a baguette. Then we're gonna have the neutral tier. You will suddenly feel the need to post semicolon free all the time. By the way, at this point in the video, put a semicolon free into the comment section right now. It doesn't matter if you've already commented. Do that right now. Like and subscribe as well. And then last but not least, this is like the big one. It's the big one that a lot of people do like. It's the big voluptuous melons, the titties, the boobies, the boobinators, the titty skittles, right? That's gonna be triple S tier. It does depend like on your DNA, on your family, physiology, blah, 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 you know what I mean, right? Depending on like how big you might or might not grow. But hey, every single one will get titties, and that's cool. Boobs! Boobs are cool. Boobs are nice. So yeah, do let me know if you agree with my tier list. If you don't agree with my tier list, if you want to do a tier list yourself, do put all your positive and negative things into the comments down below. Again, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time, my cuties. And I'm gonna say bye-bye now. So today I want to talk about, hi by the way, hi cutie patooties, hi pookies. Today I want to talk about HRT. But we're talking about 2 different acronyms of HRT. One, the one you all know, hormone therapy replacement, and one that I literally made up, which is happened right now, tomorrow. Yes, we're gonna talk about the concept of passing time, what you can do if you like don't have HRT right now, but you desperately want it. You say, oh my god, you can't start your transition because X, Y, and Z, right? And of course, you might know this like, what is it called? This principle of like the past, the present, and the future as well. And I want to talk about that as someone who had to deal with that as well, all right? It's shilling time. Welcome to shilling time. Today, for today's video, I want to recommend you the Essie Not a Face color. It is a red, but it is a darker red, which I think goes with most seasons, with most situations. It's a little bit more subtle because it's darker. I think it goes with most clothing choices and with most situations. It's not like in your face, like the bright red you see quite a lot. And I have this one, and I'm pretty sure it was in the advent calendar videos as well. So you can check there as well. I love it quite a lot. It's amazing. Anyway, as always, you know, if you do use the affiliate link in the comment description down below, you are supporting me. Thank you so much. HRT, of course, many people want it as fast as possible, the hormone replacement therapy, which is like understandable, depending on like literally in like which countries you live and what the regulations are and how old you are and what your means are and if you are able to pay for it or not is vastly different, right? I can only speak from my personal experiences in Germany, where I was able to get it in around 2 months after realizing I was trans, right? Like I looked up like the fastest way to get it through doctors, because I personally did not want to do it yourself, the method, all right? Because I wanted to have like the doctor support. I have nothing against that, right? But I personally chose against that, right? I wanted the help of like a professional and have the blood tests done and everything like that, right? So what I did, I basically Googled what you needed to do here in Germany. And I think that would be the first step for your country as well, right? Do that, right? Then I found out that basically you need a letter called indication letter, basically in Germany, Indikationsschreiben for all Germans out there. And you needed like a therapist who could like give that to you. But I also kind of knew that like a lot of like therapists have like long waiting times. So I did join like a German trans Discord and also like the German trans Reddit, and I did my research and I found like one particular therapist who does like online therapist sessions specifically for this, right, where you would be able to get this letter in 1 to 2 sessions, right? And of course you have to pay for the sessions. I think I paid like 50 or $100. I don't remember anymore. It's been like a while now, right? So I did that, then I had the letter. Then with the letter, I basically had to find some kind of doctor that has something to do with hormones, right? So it's like the endocrinologist, the gynecologist, and the urologist, right? I think these are the 3 names. And I believe, don't take me by word, I'm pretty sure the names are the same in German and in English. Okay, if not, feel free to correct me, right? So I did that, and then I found one where I could get like a spot pretty quickly. So in total, it took me around 2 months to start, basically. And I think that's the way you kind of have to do it, right? You need to figure out the steps you need to take, and then you can like optimize and figure out how you can do like each step the fastest, right? I feel like there's like no reason also to figure out what step 3 is if you don't know what step 1 is, right? So I would always go like 1, 2, 3 until you are at the goal, right? But now, there's like so many people who are like, oh my god, is it too late for me? No, by the way, is it too late for me? What can I do? Am I too old? And these people, they're like 18, they're like 20 to 21, right? Like some people might say, oh my god, I'm like 65, I have like 3 kids already, it might actually be too late. And guess what? It's still not too late for you, right? You can be yourself whenever you realize that something has changed, something needs to change, right? So it's not saying it's as easy in any step of life where you are, right? But you can still do it, and it is not too late. Now, why do I want to talk about my other meaning of HRT? The past, the future, and the present, right? Happened right now, tomorrow. Let's say you are currently in a situation, right, where for whatever reason you cannot get HRT right now. Maybe you're underage, maybe you don't have the support of your parents, maybe there literally is like no clinics or therapists around you where you could do that, right? That is like in the like happened part, right? So that has happened, right? You already know for now you cannot get it. So I would not try to dwell on it. It's always hard to like not dwell on the past. And I'm not saying you should like never dwell on the past. Obviously, especially when you like come out as trans, you will think about your past so fucking much. You will think about all the signs that you and other people have missed, or so many things that now like are easily explained, right? So many like relationships where you will be like, I didn't want to be with that person. I wanted to be that person and stuff like that, right? But it has happened and you cannot change anything right now. Basically, what people are often saying, right? Where something like, what was the saying? There's like a specific like kind of saying that if you like think too much about the past, about things you can't change, and well, regret, that's kind of regret. Okay, there we go. My brain worked for once in my goddamn life. Basically, most regret, if not all, actually all regret, right, comes from your past, because you can only regret something that has already have happened, and you can only regret things you cannot change anymore, right? Because otherwise, why would you like sit there, regret a thing? You would just change it, right? So basically, all regret comes from the past that you cannot change anymore. And it's legit to feel like regret about things, about stuff you could have changed, but it's like very easy to like slip in a hole and like never come back out again. And that's what we call depression. But try to see it this way. It is not something that right now you can change, or likely not in the future, because it is literally things that have happened unless we like make a time machine, right? So try to spend as little brain juices on that thing as possible. Then we talk about the tomorrow, right? There are things that are gonna happen tomorrow, in a day, in a week, in a year, in 10 years. And I wouldn't like think about them too much as well, right? Because that is where anxiety comes from. And no, I didn't like make all these things up. I listened to smarter people than me that like talked about these kinds of things, right? Anxiety basically comes when you think too much about the future, because anxiety is a fear of things that have not happened yet. Do you see where we're going with, right? You have regret, which is from things you cannot change anymore, right? You're living in the past. Then you have anxiety. These are things that have not even happened yet. You're living in the future. But we need to live in the right now, in the present, right? In the right now of the HRT, in the okay? In the you need to be in the right now. Man, that was very German, what the hell? So you need to be in the right now. What can you do right now to be somewhere in the future where you want to be, all right? Let's say you cannot get HRT. But let's say your HRT journey, your transition journey is from male to female. Are there still steps you can do? Yes. You can slowly start unlearning certain behaviors, right? One big one, and I hope I'm not calling anyone out here, I had to deal with this, right? Somehow in society it is taught to us, when you greet someone man to man, most of the time you will do like the little head nod. You will look at the person and be like, and you have to watch other people to realize that, right? And maybe even notice about yourself. That is mostly a thing that men do. And I don't know how the hell this happened in society, that you subconsciously learn this, because nobody ever told you that, right? And women, most of the time, when they greet one another or another person, right, they will smile and say like, hello, how we doing, right? And since I literally work in a library, in like a people facing situation, right? I literally had to like realize, okay, I'm actually doing and started doing right? So I am very consciously, whenever like there's a new person coming like into the library, like, hello, smile, how you doing? And I'm like, do not move the neck, do not move the goddamn neck, do not move the goddamn neck, we're not moving the goddamn neck. That's just a thing that you might be doing subconsciously that you might or might not want to unlearn. It might not be even important for you, right? Just saying that's like one of the things. Then you might like want to like do workout things, start losing weight if that's something you want to do, because the way HRT fat redistribution works is basically, people like say fat is like moving, which is like not really true. What is happening is that fat starts to be like stored in different places, mostly like the boobie area and like the hip area. But that is like new fat you get after HRT. Like your old one does not like move to another like home. No. You need to somehow get rid of the old one and then have like the new one move in. You need to evict the old fat and then like invite the new one in. It's literally how it works, right? So that's something people do. And where are we? Talking about fat, right? If you are like a very skinny person, right? You might want to consider if boob growth is something you are concerned about, that you might have to take a little bit more food into yourself, because guess what? The boobies, mostly fat. And if you don't get food that produces fat and you never like get some like meat at the boobies, there's not gonna be any meat at the boobies. You know, does it make sense? Okay, so those are those things. You might also start to plan for the future, like how you come out to people, how you explain to people. You can already inform yourself how all the rules about changing like your gender marker on your ID card, if your country has that, works, how you can get a new birth certificate, how you can like get new, what are they called? The pieces of papers you get from like schools and shit at the end of the year, where like all your grades are on. Your grade paper, I'm gonna call it grade paper because my god, I don't know what it's called right now, right? There's like many things that you need to get a job, right? Where all of your papers basically might need to be changed if you decide to change your name and your gender marker. So you can already inform yourself about all these things. So in the future, your life will be easier and you don't have to do them, right? Whew. That is what you can do right now. And then we're gonna talk about tomorrow, aka the future. And in the future, you want to use your right now to have an easiest time as possible tomorrow. I know there's like all these things like, oh, what I can't do today, I'm going to do tomorrow. But literally, you have time right now, right? You have time right now. You've already realized that, for example, your HRT you cannot get right now. There's other things you can do and you can prepare for the moment you get your HRT. Okay, so talking about HRT, because this video probably is labeled something like how to deal with HRT or something. There are some people who might be in situations where they need to hide their transition, right? It's obviously not optimal, and I'm wishing like the best to the people that do have to do that, right? But most people, and I'm, again, very hard generalizing here, most people will probably be able to hide physical changes of HRT for around a year, right? Some genetics are crazy and some people see like big differences after like 3 or 4 months, okay? But most people will probably be able to hide HRT changes for around a year with like hoodies and clothes and stuff like that, right? Now, that's just the physical changes. I don't think you will be able to hide the mental changes, right? Because most people will like be so much more open, feel so much more happier, and believe it or not, people around you will notice that, right? They will notice that you're like a different person now, that you're like happier, like you talk more, you smile more, and all those things, right? So, and I don't think you would want to hide those things, right? So just be prepared. People might ask you, yo, what happened? You're like so happy nowadays or whatever, right? That's that. Then what can you do to like support the HRT process, right? I talked about a lot of times where, especially if you like wanna grow your hair, you might consider taking like biotin. Biotin comes in many forms. You can like literally eat it. It comes in gummy bears, and there's also some forms of biotin where you can put it directly into your scalp and like massage it in, right? Just be informed, that's the word, just be informed that if you do take biotin, you probably want to stop taking biotin around a week or 10 days before you get an appointment to have your blood taken to get like your HRT numbers, your estrogen numbers and stuff like that, because it can screw with that, right? Then, just in general, you already are at the point where you're changing around your life. You're literally becoming a new person, or the person you were always meant to be. Take the extra step, right? Take the goddamn extra step and just get checked up, right? There's like so many things that can be wrong with human bodies, right? Many people, especially like Westerners, right? Hello, shout out Westerners. And then like Northern people, like people in like Germany and all the other like Northern countries, we do not get enough sunshine, okay? I do not get enough sunshine anyway because I'm a goddamn basement dweller, okay? But many people in these like places on Earth do not get enough sunshine, so you might lack vitamin D, right? Figure it out. If you do, there are supplements you can take. I mean, you can also like go outside the day a few hours a day and soak in the sun and be like a plant or whatever if you have nothing better to do. But like supplements exist. Figure out if you have like all the other vitamins you need, like vitamin, what is it called? I mean, D3, that's what we talked about. That's like also, that's like very important for like happiness and stuff like that. There is like calcium and zinc and all these other kinds of things. Like, I know, again, it's like the doctor thing and if you're able to do it, but if you're in a position where you can do it, spend like the few bucks that it needs to get these blood tests done, just so you know if you need to take like any things, any, yeah. Also, if you're biting your nails and you want long nails, stop. I know. I just say stop, right? It's hard. I like bit my nails myself for like 20 goddamn years, right? What I actually noticed helped that whenever I had anything to do with like nail biting, whenever I felt the impulse to want a nail bite, it was because I didn't like the state of my current nails. So now I'm literally carrying like a nail file everywhere so I can fix whenever the sensation comes up and I need to fix something. And I also like try to wear like nail polish or like a thin layer of like a invisible nail strengthening thing whenever, right? Because it helps me just to not do it, right? That said, we talked about hair, we talked about HRT, we talked about happened right now and tomorrow, the hormone replacement theory. Hey, dude, I always say hormone replacement theory instead of therapy. Listen, I have two problems, or I have beef with 4 English words, right? Therapy and theory sound way too similar, and they both with TH, right? Therapy, theory, yeah, both with TH. And then we have a Tuesday and Thursday. And listen, as my German brain cell can never figure out if Thursday or Tuesday is the second day of the week and which one is the 4th day of the week. I goddamn never can, which is why I always say hormone replacement therapy and goddamn this, I said it right this time. That's why I always say hormone replacement theory instead of therapy. Goddamn. Okay, I think we talked about most things. Let me give me a mental second here while I have a drink. Okay, so I mean, I have a lot of videos about what HRT actually does, in case you still need to inform yourself about that. Do leave me a question down below if you have any questions about HRT itself. Please don't ask me how to get HRT in specific country, because obviously I don't know, and there are better experts out there, right? I told you how I got mine in Germany. If you're in other parts of the world, sadly, you will have to do the work yourself to figure it out. But if you have any other questions about HRT in general, hit me up and the video is gonna be over and I will see you next time, besties. Bye! Pookie, you are not ready to hear this, but you need to hear this because guess what? You have been sleeping wrong. Potentially. Maybe a lot of you have been sleeping wrong, okay? Listen, let me get ready here. Okay, so attention, are you sleeping enough? I know, Mom, stop nagging me. I'm sleeping enough. I'm adult. I can decide how much I want to sleep and whatnot. But, are you? For example, are you one of those cutie patooties who is awake until 1 or 2 a.m. every single day and has to wake up at 6 or 7? and you feel like you're awake when you wake up. Nah, sister, you're not awake. You're not. I know. Okay? I know! Because I'm one of them. I do this. And it's not good. It's not good. Listen, I am the last one to admit that 8 hours of sleep is good. But turns out it is. So let's talk about how to actually sleep. Parentheses for trans people. Because we need it more than anybody else. So, number one, yes, it can like depend on like how old you are, how like your genes, DNA, and whatever the hell, and what t-shirt you're wearing and stuff like that. Like how many hours you like actually need. But like a vast majority of people, probably like 60% plus, if not even more, need 6, 7, or 8 hours of sleep. And here's the thing. There are some things you can do, for example, to train yourself to have like less sleep. There are people, for example, who like have 2 4-hour sleeps, right? That's together is 8. Because like your circadian rhythm, is that what it's called? The RMS sleep phase or whatever? That's like around 4 hours, right? So you can technically do like one cycle of it instead of 2. Then wake up, have like half your day and do the other cycle. And guess what? That is literally how like our ancestors, caveman people, did it. Because they were awake when the sun was up. Then they did like a napsy. And then we were like awake again and stuff like that. And of course there was work, we were like working in shifts and stuff like that. But like nowadays you can't, okay? Because you have to like wake up at 6. Be ready at 7, be at work at 8. You have like a 30-minute lunch break at like 12:30. Then you have to keep on having your brain engaged. Depending on your job, you're either done at like 3, 4, 5, or even 6. Some people even later. Then you have to go home. You need to like de-engage your brain again, right? Maybe you watch like a silly YouTube video. And then your brain can like slowly recharge again. And like optimally, and sometimes I do this, right? You would want to go home, nap for like 30 to 40 minutes, then wake up, because that kind of like resets your brain to do like other activities like hobbies or like house stuff and stuff like that, because your brain has like reset from like work mode. And that's a real thing some people do. The hard thing, of course, is to not have these like 30 to 40 minute naps turn out that you wake up at like 4 a.m. and you're like, shit, my whole day is gone and I have to wake up to go to work again, okay? That has happened to me as well, but don't tell nobody, okay? So, how much do I sleep? Let me tell you. On days where I work, if I'm a good cutie patootie, I get 7 hours. I very rarely get the 8, because even, and I hate to admit this, right? Even when I'm like very good, I'm a very good girl, I stop my PC activities, I go to my bed. Technically, I have 8 hours of time before I need to wake up. I will take my phone out and do phone activities. Scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Scrolling. Oh yeah. And then, of course, it's like 2 a.m. and suddenly I only have like 4 hours to sleep. It's not that bad, okay, but it does happen. On more realistic days, I do get like 7 to 6.5 hours of sleep. Most days where the next day is a working day, I get like 5 to 6, and I know that's too little. And I'm not telling you to do it like I do. I'm telling you to do better. Do better than me. So that's it. I am, however, on days where I don't have to wake up to work, something very weird happens. Like yesterday, unhealthy by the way, I was awake till like 5 a.m. Or rather today I was awake till 5 a.m. And I put my alarm to like 11, right? So that would be like 6 hours of sleep, or maybe 12. So it was 77 hours. Guess when I woke up? Guess? 2:23. So my brain slept like 3 hours longer, even though I had an alarm and I don't know what happened. So basically, on like most days where I do not have to wake up for work, my brain refuses to wake up and is probably like trying to like get all the sleep back that I like didn't get in the work. By the way, I think that's a myth. I don't think you can like pre-farm sleep and like re-farm sleep when you had like too little. I don't think that's real. Anyway, let's talk about how you can actually, it's like 6 minutes into the video, right? But now let's talk about how you can actually manage to get more sleep, okay? Here's what I do. There's like one life hack, and it really depends on like the type of person you are, right? You're either a person who likes to shower in the evening, or you're a person who likes to shower when you wake up. If you do both, that's a bit overkill. Let's be honest, it's a bit overkill, okay? Most of the time, I try to shower when I wake up to like wake me up and stuff and like that. But that takes time in the morning, like at least half an hour. So sometimes when I like want to sleep in longer, I will shower in the evening, right? Be like all washed up, all warm, all cutie patootie and wet in bed. Don't take it the wrong way. And I will sleep then. And then when I wake up, I'm still showered. I don't have to take another shower, right? That saves me like half an hour. That means I can sleep like half an hour longer. And of course, that only works if that half an hour is like not taken away from the like sleep schedule, right? So you don't do it too late in the evening. You got what I mean, right? You're a smarty cutie patootie. Then this is like, again, two types of people. You either like a warm room to sleep in or like a cold room to sleep in. And I know like the stereotypes of like German people is they sleep in like cold AF rooms. I am not one of them. To sleep in my room, I sleep in socks. You can hate me, but I sleep in socks. And I also have like two, what is the name? Not pillow, the other thing that covers your body. 2 sheets? No, that's under you. Two blankets. I have 2 blankets, right? I have 2 blankets. I have one normal blanket. It's a winter blanket. And I have one weighted blanket because then I feel like I'm getting smushed and that's amazing. So I have 2 blankets. It's warm. I have my socks on. I have my ASMR to sleep to. Very rarely I will make some like random like rain noises or whatever, but most of the time it's just a random ASMR video. I have my blush right next to me and my Satan plushie. And like, it's amazing. I have my 2 little pillows and you really need to like figure out what your preferred pillow situation is. Because I don't know how like most people in like older generations, like my mom and my dad, sleep on those like effed up pillows. These like giant pillows, the giant pillows that are literally half size of your body. They just slap them on the bed and put their head on them. I like, bitch, what is this? I have 2 tiny pillows. One, actually both of them are memory foam, right? So they are like very fluffy and very cool. One is like a rectangular, that's like that's the first like layer, and on top of that is like one of those like special pillows that has like the dent for your neck and stuff and your head, so your head shape and stuff like that. It's amazing, right? I have two pillows, right? So really you need to figure out what you like, because like I would never be able to fall asleep on these like giant old stupid pillows that all the old people use. Like I would lay awake for like 3 hours sometimes and not be able to sleep. Ever since I myself got a mattress, and I wish that one mattress company would sponsor this video, but they didn't. I have a random ass mattress from IKEA, but like I tried many of them out when we were there to shop, and then I have like 2 good pillows that I like, and it's so good to sleep in. It's so good to sleep. It's so good to sleep in. Okay, it's so good. Then, honestly, this also, I'm saying like for every single point here that this is something that depends on the type of person you are, but guess what? It's not like one sheet fits all and stuff like that, Some people cannot do with like caffeine right before sleep because it keeps them awake. And those people we call neurotypical people. But we are not neurotypical people. I, for example, am calming down with caffeine. So I probably at like 8 p.m. am still like drinking like a G Fuel or whatever, right? So that helps me sleep as well, because I'm like, I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down. Hot tip though, do drink like some kind of fluid, like a glass or 1.5 glasses of something like water or milk if you wanna, or some other stuff, right? Before you go to sleep. Because like my ADHD ass sometimes forgets to drink. And I know it's like weird to say drink something before you sleep when I say you forget, because you probably forget that you want to drink something before you sleep as well. But like just put like a bottle with drink right inside or right beside your bed or like on top of the bed so you see it when you try to sleep. Because I had so many times when I would like wake up at 1 or 2 a.m. and thinking I am fucking dying. My throat is like so parched and I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Is this the day? Is it it? And then I will realize you have not had like a drink in like 13 hours. What are you doing? And then I will run to the bathroom, drink like half of the water supply that comes out of that sink, and then I go back to sleep. But like ever since I had like my little water bottle right next to my bed and take like a few sips before I go to sleep, I don't wake up from thirst anymore. And let me tell you, waking up from thirst is such a weird experience, right? Because you wake up and the first thing you do feel is not like, why am I awake? It's actually, oh my God, I need to drink something. And that's such a weird thing. And I don't know if that happened to like anybody else, but it's happened to me. So I'm telling you, drink something, baby girl. Let's see. We talked about blankets. We talked about sheets and like pillows and showering and drinking. Again, it's like ASMR. Make your sleeping environment as comfortable as you need it to, right? If you need the heater on like I do it. If you need complete silence, try to do that. You know, like these clocks that do I will literally burn and destroy an atomic bomb every single one of them, because if I hear even the slightest ticking noises anywhere in my goddamn room, I'm gonna flip the hell out, okay? I'm gonna scream and shout and let it all out, and you will feel it with me. Because like if these clocks, I don't know who the fuck invented them, probably a deaf person, because you hear when you're trying to sleep. So either have a digital clock, have your phone or whatever. I cannot, listen, I like ASMR, I cannot deal with these goddamn motherfucking, sorry, this is a rant about clocks now. That was not meant to be a rant about clocks. So we talked about that. But again, listen, if I could, I would sleep like a literal vampire, okay? I want to sleep in like a place that is just big enough to fit my body. I basically want to feel like I'm suffocating. I need complete silence and complete darkness, okay? Maybe I just want to be like in a womb or something. I don't know. So that's like my optimal sleeping place. Let me see. Leamington. And then I like to put like multiple alarms on. I'm like one of those psychopaths who has like 7 alarms that are all like 2 to 3 minutes apart to like wake up. And that's amazing. But does it help you sleep? I mean, it gives you like the confidence that you will actually wake up. Don't believe me what I just said. Sometimes you will not wake up from that, but like you will feel like you can be able to wake up from that. Okay. Anyway, that's me. That's my sleeping thing. Hope it helped you as well. Anyway, I don't have more to say, I think. Bye. Bye. Top 10 things I wish I knew before transitioning. Yes, this is this type of video. So I thought there's like all these videos out there in like the gaming sphere where people are like, oh my God, I wish I knew these 5 things before I played this game. Do not make these mistakes when you play this game. So we're making that type of video. This type of video. For I was about to say ADHD, no. for transitioning, okay? So some of these, maybe a lot of these, are actually about the male to female transitioning, because that's the one I have experience with. Oh, you wait, let me just like do something to get your attention. Okay, you back? You back from the dead? Okay, so the full-blown topic, which is like the whole thing, is like transitioning literally is a goddamn full-blown puberty, and that is not to be underestimated. So number 1, Sleep is very important, and I know you hate to hear this. I know you hate to hear that like your 3 to 4 hours, your 5 hours, even your like 6 hours might not be enough. That like 7 to 8 hours might be needed. That you might have more sleepy EP needs now, right? Because you are basically growing stage again. Yeah. So I know it's very hard. I love to drink energy drinks. I love to play video games. I love to watch like videos about how to be a cutie patootie until late in the night to like 4:30 and then go to work at like 6. We can't really do that anymore, you know? Number 2, trans? Huh? Nutrition is so important. I literally wrote down nutrition. Oh my God. Listen, did you know what boobies are made out of? For the most part, fat. And do you know how to get that? With nutrition. Oh, wow. So having like a balanced diet is like very important, right? So you need to eat enough. You need to eat enough not only to like sustain yourself. You need to eat probably a little bit more than typical because you're growing now. You need the nutrition and protein. Oh my God, protein is like such a game changer. You need the protein, right? I love edamame. I made a video about it recently, you know, of edamame, but like any protein source can like work, right? So just make sure that you have like your dietary needs in order. And again, I'm like not one to talk about because my dietary situation is like I eat a bag of edamame and 2 months of energies and call it a day. So that doesn't work, you know. Then we have mood swings, okay? Listen, I do not know if you had a puberty in your life before. Many people did, but not all did. I never had a first puberty because of like medical reasons, right? So, my God, I was not prepared for like the emotional mood swings and just having days where I'm just like annoyed and my brain just says, today ain't it, chief? You do today? We not doing this, okay? They are insane. Right? So already I had like kind of like motivational swings thanks to my ADHD where I go from like, oh my God, I'm so productive to, oh my God, I'm dying right now. But now the mood swings are there as well. So that's like, not cool. Do you know what happens in puberty? And in my like teenage years, I had to deal a little bit with this, but like never really that much because again, never had like a full puberty. Breakouts in your like face. We're talking about like a pimple town over here. Like it's still like not insane, right? But it's like more since I started HRT than in like the last 10 years basically, right? Where every once in a while, every few weeks, I will have like a little that grows on my face for no particular reason. So, oh my God, I got like recently these like little pimple patches. I didn't even know they existed previously in my entire life, okay? You like plop them down on a pimple and it like dehydrates the sucker so much. It's like eats the hydration out of it. So it like goes away faster. I never knew those existed in my entire life. So they are cool. So yeah, that can happen. Then, number 5, I just wrote down dangerously high chances of being happy. Guess what? You are finally getting the thing you wanted for so long. You probably maybe even fought to get to this point, right? To get your HRT, to finally start your transitioning and stuff like that. And my God, it's so good. Like these nuts and these boobies. Wait. Brain? The brain fog for the brain fog that was there before is basically lifted. Didn't change any goddamn thing about my ADHD, so I'm still like a little bit of sometimes, you know, I'm botching around. Help me. That's a verb, right? I'm botching around. That's a verb ever since Bocce the Rock came out. So yeah, that's like what's happening. You can be happy. It's very contagious, by the way. Feeling like better about yourself and all that stuff. Crazy. Do you know about growing pains and itchiness? We're talking boobies right now. My God, number 1, you can actually like feel your skin in that area getting tighter because stuff is growing and it can hurt for some people, or if it doesn't hurt, at the very least, it can get like sensitive. So if you like walk against like a door for some reason and touch that space, it can hurt quite bad. And like the itchiness, listen, itchiness is good. It's a sign of growth. But like, it's not every day. But like on some days, randomly, out of the blue, I will sit at my work desk in the library and all of a sudden, I will feel like my left boobie being like very itchy and I'm like, oh my god, why you doing this to me? There's a customer in front of me. I can't scratch you now. That's what I'm singing every single time so the customer can hear it as well so they're prepared when I actually do scratch it, you know? Anyway. So yeah, itchiness can happen. Still don't know how to deal with it. Some people said they use like hydration cream or some other cream like in the area and it helps. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Number 7. It takes so long. Listen, this mother trucker sadly is called a transition and not a transformation for a reason. This is not Sailor Moon. Sadly, this is not Sailor Moon, you know. Neither is it like Doremi. Shout out to Doremi. Oh my god, Doremi mentioned. It takes so long, which is like normal puberties, right? For like cis people and cis girls. Starts between the ages of, some people start as early as 9, to be honest. But like regularly, I think like 11, 12-ish, right? Maybe 10. I have no idea, actually. But like then it can like take up to their 20s, 21 until they're like fully grown, especially like in the chest area. Like there's like so much development over such a long period of time. So you just have to prepare that you're not gonna like take HRT and wake up the next goddamn day and you're gonna have like double D boobies, okay? I know that's like all you all want, okay? But like that doesn't happen, sadly. It sadly takes a long time. Next up, voice training. While I was fortunate enough to not have to do that, I only did like talking training basically from doing all these videos here. Voice training is hard, so you might as well start early is what I like wrote down. There's like no reason, there's no lore, there's nothing that tells you that you only can start like voice training after you have your HRT and after you start like socially transitioning or medically transitioning. You can start whenever, right? If you know, for example, if you're in one of those countries that has like a longer wait time for HRT, maybe like 2 years. I know that sucks, right? But you can still use that time to prepare yourself in like other ways and learn stuff, right? So do that, maybe. I don't know. I'm not your mom, or am I? I'm not your mom. But I am your mommy. Then I have like number 9 is just a collection of like lower known things that people don't often talk about that I just wanted to mention here. So 1, your eye color can actually change. And when I last did like a short video about it, a lot of people actually responded and did say that it changed for them. Then your feet actually, believe it or not, can get smaller. Well, obviously your bones and your feet doesn't like grow smaller. Like the whole muscle and fat tissue around it goes like smaller. So you actually will after a while notice that you have like a smaller shoe size. Then of course your body height can also go a little bit down, which has to do both with the feet and also like your like pelvis or whatever can like rotate a little bit. I heard or something, I don't know, something happens, right, where it will lose you a little bit of height. And some people might like that, some might not. You will have thinner skin on your whole body. This means multiple things. In your face, for example, if you have thinner skin, maybe you now see some like, what are they called? Sunspots? Oh my god, I forgot what they're called. What are they called again? Oh my god, I don't know. They're like markings on your... Oh my god, I have to Google it. I only know the German name right now. Oh wait, we're Googling right now, live on video. Oh my god, your freckles. Oh my god, that's the freaking word. So yeah, so basically, if you had freckles before, but you couldn't see them, you might start noticing like some freckles on your body and on your face or somewhere because your skin is thinner now. Because your skin is thinner now, also just saying it here, on your whole body. So some people might notice some problems or uncomfortabilities in their downstairs area when having fun at night with the dragon, you know? And that is because once you're in HRT for a longer period of time, skin does get thinner again on all of your body parts. So doing the naughty with like different stuff and different toys and different methods might be a way for you to go. And I have videos for that on the channel, so maybe go look for them. Then there's like a lower resistance to cold. I was never really resistant to cold, and now it's like way worse, which is bad. And then this one, doesn't happen to everybody, but can happen to some people. Periods can still happen. Obviously, you're not gonna randomly start bleeding out of your finger, right? That doesn't happen. But like the hormonal cycles, even though you take the same dosage of HRT daily, can still happen. And if you notice like hard mood changes or weird feelings, what's different than usual, you should probably start noting them down when in the month they happen. And if they happen in like the same like cycle as a period would normally happen, then it's very probable that you do have them, right? Again, not many people have them, but some actually do. And I'm pretty sure that I have them and I experience them. I really need to like write down when I do have these days. I have not done so myself because like every like few weeks I literally have like a day or two where I'm like useless. I can literally do nothing. My brain is like, not today. And then, number 10, last but not least, make sure to monitor your metrics, either with a doctor or with yourself, or more importantly, with a doctor and with yourself. And that I'm talking blood tests, I'm talking your like estrogen levels, all of your levels, all the things you need to know, basically, right? Because, listen, even if you are at a doctor that can prescribe you HRT, they might not be an expert in like transitioning people, basically. So being in like trans communities, talking with other people, like what their metrics and stuff were like, and seeing like that you are basically in the levels that like people and doctors worldwide recommend, it's like very important. And so you can like bring it up to your doctor to potentially get like different doses and stuff like that. It's not medical advice, but talk with your doctor. Video over. Something, I guess, have a cute transition and stuff. Bye. Did you know that HRT can change your eye color? It can! That fact and many other hidden facts and maybe some secrets and hot tips about HRT hormone replacement theory, mostly for the male to female route, because that's the one. I know. The other way around, I can't tell you if they like apply or something. You can still watch the video for some entertainment purposes, as always. Let's go. There are many things I have learned over the year about HRT, both from personal experience, from talking to other people, reading up online, talking to the doctor, and all kinds of things. And I want to share some lesser known facts with you that I have never heard about before like starting HRT, okay? So one, I think that one can happen. It's rare, but it can happen. Is HRT can actually change your eye color, which is like crazy to me, right? That like first of all, I didn't even know that the eye color apparently has anything to do with like hormonal stuff, right? But apparently it does. Because if your hormonal things in your body like change, the eye color changes, and it doesn't go like drastically like from, I don't know, like blue to green or whatever, right? But it can change like a few hues or whatever. And I've seen many people in my comments whenever I mentioned that telling me that that has happened to them as well, right? So that is for our first fact. Now, this is for all the girlies out there who take the gel version of estrogen for HRT, okay? You know, the gel that you can like either put on your arms or your thighs or whatever. Did you know there's actually like a secret hack to either having to use less or to get a better effect with the same dosage? Now, I did not know this. My doctor did not tell me this. And it's not mentioned in the like packaging of the thing, right? Because that is like not what the medicine was like made for, but it does work and it's safe and many people have done this. You can apply it like, how do we say this? In the nest of the Dragon Balls, you know? And no joke, you can do that. Google that yourself, right? You can apply HRT basically down there. And the reason why this works is, right, the gel version of HRT needs to go into your bloodstream, which is why you usually want to put it somewhere on your body that has like thin skin or like more access to like veins and blood thingies and shit, alright? So that part down there is like a part with like a lot of blood vessels going through it with very thin skin where it gets absorbed very easily, right? So if, for example, you are in a situation where you have the gel version, right? And you wish that you could like have a higher dosage, but either for many reasons, right? Maybe your doctor doesn't want to, maybe you can't get like more stuff, right? You can't get like a higher dosage to do it in like other ways, right? You can try that way and see if your blood tests like improve, because they will, believe me, they They will. It works so well. Of course, like drying periods is like a thing. I like to apply the HRT in general in like the morning. I take it like in the morning and in the evening, and then I just like lie 5 minutes on my bed and it's done, and I get dressed and stuff like that. You know. Same to that. Let's get both of the like too much information facts out there, because the doctor will not tell you. This one my doctor did actually tell me, okay? But he did not tell me that it would have like a better effect. Now, progesterone, I did many videos about it. Progesterone is like another hormone many people take after some point, and the hormone itself can have some effects in some people. In some it does nothing, in some it does like negative things. You really have to try if it's like good for you, right? As with like all medicine. I really like the effect, so I'm taking it. But if you're taking it, and if the effects are like working for you and you don't get it like any of the insane side effects like anxiety and stuff, taking it rectally actually is like way better for you, if you can endure that, than like orally, aka swallowing, right? Because when you swallow like any pill really, right? But when you swallow the medicine of progesterone, it has to go like through your liver, through your whole body, because before it gets like dissolved. Hence, like less of the actual like medicine part goes in your body. But if you take it like the other way around, right? There is no liver to absorb all that. You get like more of the medicine. Apparently there's like studies where it goes for like longer periods of time over the day, so you don't have like a crash down after a few hours and stuff like that. And you don't get the side effects of getting like sleepy, right? Because if you take it like orally, you get like very sleepy, which is like obviously not good, which is why you should take it at night. But yeah, that's the two medicine tips if you want like better results, basically, right? That you can change. Now to a negative thing, and you might not want to hear this, and it might not affect you, but I have to say this, right? Too much caffeine, aka energy drinks, can actually hinder freaking transition like progress, okay? She says as she's slurping her golf girlfriend G Fuel energy. I'm gonna put a little article on screen right now. I'm also gonna put it in the like description box. It's not like in all people, but there apparently have been some studies where too much caffeine can have an effect on like estrogen levels in women, which, you know, you are. You know. It says it's like most of the time, if it did have like an effect, it was in like people where the body was already struggling with like an estrogen like dominance. So people with like, is it PBS? I'm not sure. The article says, right? But like, guess what? Your body was like not estrogen dominant for a long time, probably, you know? So might be worth considering cutting down on the energy drinks, but like, who am I? Do as I say, not as I do, you know. You know. That is that. Van. I've already like put one of the articles about progesterone up at one point. I'm gonna put it in the description this time as well, because like progesterone in general is not like only good for your like boobalicious, but also for like so many other things on like the side. Even one of the side effects, or like one of the effects of progesterone, and you will not believe me, but it's true, is actually that you are more likely, or there's like less resistance in you as a person in helping other people. The fucking hormone makes you more likely to help other people and be social. Is that not crazy? Is that not fucking crazy that is what a hormone can do? Okay, next fact. So, this one has positive and negative incotations? I think that's the word. HRT, especially estrogen, actually slows down hair growth. That can be good for like facial hairs and stuff, and body hairs and stuff like that. But it can be very annoying if you like want to grow your hair out. So if you are in a situation where you either cannot yet start HRT, or you know you will start HRT at some point in the future, maybe consider growing your hair out already. Because once you are on HRT, all of your hair will grow slower, right? So it's actually harder for women to have like long hair than for men, which is like crazy. Isn't that, okay, real talk, rant for a moment, right? Isn't that crazy that that is like a fact in the hormones where testosterone, Barbarossa, Davy Jones, Jack Sparrow, where testosterone is actually like the hormone that makes your hair grow longer, faster. But it's like the socially acceptable thing to have men like have short hair. And at the same time, estrogen people have like the hair grow like slower. But at the same time, the norm, what is seen as feminine, is like women with long hair. That's crazy, is it not? That's, honestly, that is fucking crazy, okay? Why is it not the other way around? Makes no fucking goddamn sense. Anyway, tension aside, if you do want to grow your hair out, probably easier before HRT. And of course, stuff like that has hormonal and like genetic reasons, so my hair will not grow as slow or as fast as yours, and yours not as mine, and yours not as the next person's, and blah 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 blah. But in general, hair on testosterone will grow faster than hair on estrogen. Next up, you are not alone in being cold all the goddamn fucking time after you have taken HRT. It is actually known, or rather, it is actually like proven that like women in general have a slightly higher body temperature than like men, which also means, right, that you need a higher room temperature to feel the same amount of like warmth as like a male person. Which means after you've taken HRT for a while, your body will like adjust. And if you're still like in the same like room temperatures as before, because either you cannot adjust them or you didn't know that you have to adjust them and you have to like clothe differently, you're gonna be cold all the fucking time, okay? Listen, this winter, and honestly ever since last winter, I have been sleeping under 2 blankets, a normal blanket and a weighted blanket. Most of the time with socks and a long t-shirt, okay? Because I am goddamn cold and my hoodie is my best friend. I'm sitting in the hoodie here right now. I love my hoodie, it's my best friend. Da 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 da. Woo! Next up, this is more of a thing to like calm you down than a thing to like be a hidden fact. Let's talk about breast growth, okay? Because I believe many people, and I might have been one of them, would have this like opinion of, oh my god, I'm gonna take HRT and I wake up the next day and I have triple D boobies. It's gonna be fantastic, right? But the reality is that while yes, you might genetically, again, differences always, you might after some weeks or some months already see like some like happenings, right? Some budding. You might even have like little Mount Everest down there, little triangles and stuff like that, right? But the reality, and we're gonna link it as well down below, is for like cis girls, their breast like development starts around the ages of 8 to 13, and for most of them it doesn't end until they're like 18 or the early 20s. So let's say you take, even if you take like the shortest period of time that we have here, right? From like the 13-year-old, which is pretty late, to like 18. That's still 5 years, right? Would be 5 years of HRT before your breast would be fully developed. But again, there can be more, right? If we take like the maximum range of like, let's say 8, and it don't stop until like 20, that's 12 years, right? That's 12 goddamn years. Not to discourage you, right? But do not expect to be like fully developed after like 1 year, not even 2. There's like so many trans people out there who still have like progress after like 2-3 years. And even if it's like starts to stop then, if you didn't at that point already, you can do like progesterone and see if it like helps even more. So if you're a fan of big boobulicious boobies on yourself, you know, do not fret. You can have time. There's still many chances, right? And If you are a self-grown booby-having person, do leave down in the comments below, like what your time frame was, right? How long you have taken HRT, and if you are still like noticing like some like changes, because that would probably be very interesting for some people, right? Because my God, I have noticed changes in like the first year, but my God, and of course it's like hard to tell on yourself because you kind of like see yourself every day, right? But I swear to God, in like the last month, progress has been way more than before. And that is like generally what I have seen from other people. But like, especially like the breast development changes in HRT apparently start way more starting from like your second year of HRT going forward. So that's gonna be interesting. That is gonna be interesting. Da, 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 da. So for the next fact, we have smell. Again, your mileage may vary. This might not happen to everybody, but for many people, their sense of smell will actually get stronger. Sadly, I have noticed this myself. This might be, first of all, too much information incoming. I can actually smell if another woman that is like physically close to me is on her period, because my God, I can actually smell like the iron in like the blood. I don't know. Please tell me I'm not alone. Please tell me I am not crazy, right? Mostly it's on my sister, right? Because like there's not many other like women around me that where I'm like this close, like 10, 20 centimeters, like close to them when I talk to them, besides my sister. But I can actually smell it. And please, if you can smell it as well, tell me I am not crazy and tell me I'm not alone, okay? Now, this might be a not safe for work fact, so I'm giving you a slight warning. You might want to like skip 30 seconds to a minute. And I did talk about this one fact before in like one of the hashtag gooning videos, which was educational, but you know, clickbait and stuff. It's basically your skin in general gets thinner on HRT, especially, if I say HRT, I mean on estrogen, okay? On estrogen, your skin gets thinner. All of your skin. So for your head, for example, for your face, it can mean that suddenly you see like freckles. You always had them, but now that the skin is thinner, you can actually see them. It might mean that like you can like get like little wounds easier, like little scratches and stuff like that, but it also means that the skin on your private parts will get thinner over time. So traditional methods of unleashing the waterfall might not work as good anymore and you could injure yourself. So consider different methods or stuff like that. You know, I've warned you. Enough about that. Of course, there's like many other things I haven't talked about. Like, for example, the thing that you can actually lose some like centimeters of your height. You can get like a smaller shoe size and all that kind of jazz, right? But those are like more well-known facts, which we're mostly not talking about in this video. My last lesser-known fact, which not many people know, is, again, this doesn't happen to everybody. I would say this probably doesn't even happen to half of the trans women out there. But you can actually get period-like symptoms. Obviously, you don't have the facilities, sadly, to make like the bleeding thing happen, which you might either like, or it might be dysphoric for you. It's really up to you, right? But you can get symptoms. And if you start to see like a weird pattern where maybe like every few weeks you suddenly feel depressed, or you feel some cramps, or you feel just like general like in a weird mood, start like writing the dates down, right? Every time that happens, write the date down, or even get like a period tracker app, right? And see if that is like what a cycle would look like, because you might have one. And I have started to cycles don't down yet. I've started to like note some dates down. I had this happen multiple times already, but I only thought about like writing it down recently. So I only have like 2 dates, but the 2 dates are like 23 days apart from each other. And apparently the like cycle for cis women is between 21 and like 32 days, if I remember correctly, right? So it could be it. I will know in the future when I write more dates down, right? Obviously, you would need like 5 or 6 or more dates, which is more months to like really figure it out. But it can really help you to like know what is happening on these days. If you maybe like need to take some rest time, maybe get a snack or whatever, right? Because it's like something to deal with now. It is something to deal with now. It is something to deal with now. It's something to deal with now. Ada, Nate-chan, I'm gonna go now. Bye! Yes, you are trans. Did you know? Did you know that you are trans? No, maybe you're questioning. Maybe you're maybe you actually aren't trans, by the way. Did you notice? I have a different hairstyle. Oh, yeah. Bet you didn't know that was possible, huh? Bet you didn't know. Anyway, yes, you are trans. Why? Because I told you so. No, that's not true. Anyway, let's talk about it, should we? So, if you're watching this video, if you click this video, you either know that you are trans, you are an egg, you are in denial, you're just curious, or you are currently questioning, and you are questioning yourself, am I really trans? Is this just like a trend? Is this a fetish? Is this like a lifestyle choice or whatever the hell, right? Let me tell you something. Very few cis people ever question in their entire life if they might be a different gender. Most cis people out there are very much confident that they are a woman. I always freaking say the plural form of that. Maybe that's because I like women so much. They're very confident that they're a woman. They're very confident that they're a man, right? They're like very confident in those things. And they will take it as an insult if you call them something else. And then, of course, we have the little egg population, which is like questioning, right? And not every egg turns out to hatch into a little trans chicken, but some of them do. So what even happens in your life to make you question that, right? So there might be some people who are very feminine, but are male, and do identify as men, right? And maybe some of them question themselves, like, am I happy with being a man, right? And many of them will say yes. Obviously, that's why we have stuff like femboys, right? Then there are women who are very masculine, that's the word. There are women who are very masculine, right? That's why we have some people like tomboys and stuff like that, right? Obviously, there are some like lesbian women who act more masculine, and there are some gay men who act more feminine. So that's like, there's a big spectrum, right? But listen now. There are, as I said before, there are very few cis people that ever ask themselves if they are a different gender. So already asking yourself this question, wondering, is a very high indicator that yes, you are indeed trans. Because not many people do the research. Maybe they ask themselves this question like once, right? And then they instantly realize, oh yeah, no, I'm actually a man. Oh yeah, no, I'm actually a woman, right? But if you do research, if you go to a little website, I did this as well, by the way. If you go to a little website and do a gender test, do a like feminine test if you're a man, and do like a male test if you're a woman, right? There's a very high chance. Guess what? You are transgender. Yes. And there are more indicators. What might be an indicator that yes, you are indeed trans? One, you have watched at least 5 Shyaren videos in your life. You know who Yuko is. You know who Alice is. You know who Ava is. You know who Lucy is. You know all of these people. And then, of course, you might also know who Finster is. And Icky. There's so many people out there. If I see your browser history and your YouTube history, and there are more than 6 trans-related videos within the last like 20 videos, cutting out music videos, that doesn't count, then the high chance that you are trans is very high. If you watch these trans meme videos and these egg IRL meme videos, and you think to yourself in your little brain hole, oh, that's kind of relatable. Also, that's so funny, what the hell? You know what? You might be trans. If you have ever tried on different clothing to see how you will look like in different clothing of the primarily worn different gender, you might be trans. One big factor on deciding if you are trans, and this is in many states, in many countries, the main factor, except as in like medical fields, is dysphoria. If you feel dysphoria, and dysphoria can feel very different for different kinds of people. There's a website called the Dysphoria Bible. I'm gonna link it in the pinned comment down below. If you ever question yourself, if you're not sure yet, if you don't know if you have dysphoria or not, even if you know you're trans and you're unsure if you ever experienced dysphoria or not, maybe look there if you're curious, because like some things you might not even think about. Other things. Are you very much interested in a lot of gender bender stories like anime, manga, or other kind of stuff like cartoons? Do you frequent many trans-related subreddits a lot of the time? Are you a cutie patootie? Do you like the colors blue, pink, and white? Do you? I do. They're cool. Have you ever had the desire to be a programmer while wearing thigh-high socks? Did you? Do you, for some reason, like a very friend-shaped blue shark from the Swedish retailer Ikea a lot? Do you? Did you know that his name is Blahash and not Blowhigh? Did you know? If you call it Blahash, you're trans. If you call it Blowhigh, you're trans as well. I got you there. Did you expect something different? Listen. Are you listening? If you ever, this is a big one. And I know it's not so obvious for many people. I know it's very not obvious. Because guess what? Our brains are stupid. Human beings are fucking dumb. If you have ever imagined yourself getting reincarnated or isekai'd, sent to another world as a different gender, there is a high chance you're trans! If you've ever gone to sleep thinking yourself, oh, I want to wake up the next day as a girl, I want to wake up the next day as a boy, oh, you might be trans. It's like, oh. If you have ever like really agitated when somebody else spewed transphobia and you got like really attacked, you might be trans. You might be a really nice ally, or just a human being with morals and you're nice, but it could also be that you got attacked because deep down you knew something, okay? If you like pineapple pizza, you're not trans, but you're very cool because I like pineapple pizza. Sorry, I'm just laughing at my own stupidity. If you like Monster Energy drinks so much that you could swim in them and drink them every single... Wait a moment, I have a Monster Energy drink. Listen to me. Little story time, by the way. I have a frozen can of Monster Energy drink here. Do you want to know how this happened? ADHD. Basically, I came home and I had a can of Monster Energy and I wanted to make it cold. How do you make something cold faster than the fridge? You put it into the freezer. But what happened is I totally forgot that I put the Monster Energy into the freezer, and then like way later, I wanted to freeze something else, thankfully still on the same day, and then I saw, oh my freaking god, there's a can of Monster Energy in the freezer. And now, I believe there is still some like frozen bits in there. I already had it like out for over an hour now, and I think like most of it in there is liquid now. My god, I did not plan to include this in this video, but I suddenly just remembered when I said Monster Energy. Here, proof. That's frozen solid. You can hear that? Let's put it over here again. That's that. Where was I? This is one. They are not always related. They're actually not even often related, but they can be related. If you are neurospicy in any way already, there is a high chance to attract more neurospiciness. That is literally the law. It's the law of the world, right? So that means if you have ADHD, if you have autism, or any other of the things, right? There's a high chance that you might as well also be trans. And if you're trans, there's a high chance that you might have ADHD or might have autism. Like, there's various reasons why these things are connected, and obviously not all people with ADHD or all people with autism are trans, and obviously not all trans people have one of those things. Obviously! I'm just saying, like, statistically, Those two things happen together more than a ignorable amount of times, right? Right? I'm screaming so much. Are you still fine, baby girl? I need to calm you down, okay? Come closer to the microphone right now. Well, I can get closer to the microphone. You can't actually get closer to the microphone. You can only get closer to the speaker. If you are listening on your phone right now, I want you to take the speaker of the phone right next to your ear. Or if you're wearing headphones, press the headphones against your ears like this. And listen to my next words very carefully. Ada, Ada, you might be trans. Ada, Ada, you might be trans. Ada, Ada, you might be trans. Okay, we are going slowly away from the microphone again, and we're slowly increasing the volume again. I'm not gonna spook you. Okay, we're speaking normally again. Have you listened to this? Ada, Ada, you might be trans. Hello and welcome everybody to another Shyaren video. Let's open up our fan, spill the beans, and let us get started. Quick little disclaimer, those are my personal early signs of being trans. Disclaimer number 2, some of those things are very stereotypical, although they do not have to be, they can be for everybody. And disclaimer number 3, just because any of the things on the list is the same for you does not necessarily mean one thing or another. Those are just my experiences. Okay, let's go. Yeah, fan time. It's very hot right now. I need my fan, okay? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, give me that cold air, yeah. I actually had to make like a little list, a notepad on my PC, because those are things that I have only realized after having my egg cracked and after coming out for myself and then thinking about it for like weeks and weeks and weeks. Like my egg crack was in February, right? And then slowly but surely you realize that many things back in your old life, maybe even when you were a child, happened, okay? So I started writing them down and then thinking back of them. So let's start. The first thing, I've mentioned it in many videos already, it's the haircuts, okay? It's the haircuts, not wanting them and wanting to have long hair, but being forced to have like short hair, right? We don't like that, okay? I did not like that. Lots of role play, both in person, right? I like to role play like with friends, like all kinds of different things, mostly like anime related because I'm a giant nerd, but also like playing with figurines. I had like so many like figurines and McDonald's toys when I was a kid, and like Lego figurines, and like I didn't really have Playmobil like a lot, but I did have a lot of Playmobil figures. I don't know from where, honestly, since I didn't have any Playmobil sets. But I played with that, okay? Then magical girl anime or transformation anime or quote-unquote girly anime, okay? I really like girly anime. I liked Sailor Moon. I liked Pretty Cure. I liked Wedding Peach. I liked Jen, the thief girl. I don't know what the English title is. I'm so sorry. Then, did I mention Doremi? There are so many of them that I absolutely freaking loved, okay? Disliked being served. So for me, even after becoming an adult, I never really liked that, and I wasn't really sure why until like recently, like in my brain, when somebody spoke to me and used my last name and sir in front of it, right? That was always my father. That was not me, and I freaking disliked it. And then after starting like a job where the superior only calls you by the last name, I freaking hate it every single time I'm getting called that, okay? I don't like it! Disliking being called a man, like being called a man or a boy. I was always like kind of uncomfortable when people called me that. Listen, at this point you might already be wondering, how the fuck did this biatch not figure it out sooner, okay? People and our brains are so oblivious, okay? They try to protect us from the truth, okay? I did not realize, okay, even with all these things, and there are many more coming, okay? Then playing games as a female character. I think a lot of people have that, and I think a lot of cisgendered males, some of them, probably more than would say openly so, play as female characters because, and then as an excuse they use, yeah, they look better. If I look at an ass, it might as well be in female ass. No, for me it was relatability, right? So I always wanted to play female characters. Next point, very close to that, relating to female characters, not necessarily playing at them in like TV shows, books, or just like in real life, relating more to the female people around me than the male people. Then choice of professions. So I always wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. And I did do the schooling to become a kindergarten teacher. And oh my God, let me tell you, in that class, there was like 28 girls and like 3 boys. So yeah, I did that. And with that comes like basically all my life, I have been around women as well, right? My father moved out very early. Then I lived with my mother. I have 2 sisters. And then I did like professions where a lot of female people were around me as well, a lot of women. Yeah, and then later I obviously became a librarian, and that's primarily a female occupation here as well. This one is one that might be too much personal information for you, but peeing while sitting. I don't know when it started, right? It must have been like maybe 10, 11, 12, but ever since that, I've only sat down to do it, okay? The only times I would do it like standing was when I absolutely like had to, if there was like no stalls open, and even that was highly uncomfortable, or when you were like outside somewhere in nature, you know, and there was basically no real other way, okay? So I know many people say like it gives them euphoria when they do it. It started like after the transition, or when they started the transition, when they came out. I have been doing that for like 20 years, okay? So maybe that was an early sign. Uncomfortability around men. I never really liked to be around a lot of men, okay? It doesn't matter if they're like younger than me and like boys, teenagers. Doesn't matter if they're like older. Doesn't matter if they're like grandpas. It doesn't matter, right? I was always like kind of uncomfortable around them, and I'm still kind of am. So I don't know in like real life. Like when I know a person, obviously I had friends, okay? I had male friends. Once I know a person, it's fine. But like the general like populace of like male people, no, maybe not. And I never really did any male activities either, right? I wasn't that interested in sports. The only sport I was somewhat interested was like basketball. Then I never really liked, if it sounds stupid, right? But like, okay, a lot of the kids in like my school were like fighting each other, like hitting, like being mean to each other. That was stupid. I was never like taking part in that, like, And then like also many of like the male activities, like I said, sports, playing football outside and all of that. I didn't like it. I wanted to be by myself, reading like a book, writing something, playing games or whatever, right? Then gender band anime and stories. I absolutely love gender band stories and anime. It's the absolute freaking best, and we need more of them. Interest in LGBTQ plus topics and people. That started like probably like 8 or 9 years ago, right? Where I would really like yaoi and yuri stories, and not necessarily like in a sexual way, but like the romantic stories and the romantic like anime where there are same-sex couples, same-gender couples, and like all in all, I was like reading up on all kinds of like LGBTQ plus topics and stuff like that, and was always very supportive of it, right? And it never occurred to me why that might be. I was just a good ally, okay? Then I always hated my first name. Not gonna reveal it here. Maybe at some point in the future I will, but I always hated my first name. I always wanted a name that started with an S, which is why we have Shyaren now, okay? I was so jealous of my sisters and my best friend because all 3 of them had names that started with an S, and I wanted to have a name that started with an S, and I didn't like mine. No. This is a big one for me, and I only realized that pretty recently, like this year, that when I was a kid, I wanted to have kids, right? Because I became an uncle very early on, I guess an aunt now, when I was like 6. Because my sisters are way older than me. And ever since then, I wanted to have like my own kids, but not in the way like a father. No, I wanted to be a mother. I wanted to be a mother, have kids as a mother. You know, can you relate? You know. Next one, big, and I mean big emo phase. I don't know when it was. Probably when I was like 13, 14 at the most. I had a big emo phase. I was actually dyeing my hair black. I was only wearing black clothing. And I'm not proud of that, but it got so hard into it that at some point I was cutting myself with like a razor blade from a pencil sharpener. Like only once. I was stupid and I did it only once. And I still have like a faint scar on my like upper arm from that. Okay, I was so terrified. I did it at like school. I don't know why. I don't know why I was thinking, and I was like terrified all the way to home. I don't think anybody at home from my family still knows, but on the way home it was bleeding like shit. It was bleeding so much, you won't even believe it. And Dad like taught me a lesson, like never do that shit ever again. That's so stupid, okay? Then, and this one might be like, oh my god, at like this point, girl, how did you not figure it out? Pretending to be a girl online, okay? So for all the Germans out there, do you remember the chatting platform Knuddels? On Knuddels, I had like a thing where I was pretending to be a girl online and was getting some like messages and roses. That's like a currency you could give someone there. From like probably some old dudes, I don't know. It was weird. And then also in various online games, because I would always play female characters, I would also pretend to be female. And I know at some point, I don't know what game it was for, I don't know when it was, but I joined someone in TeamSpeak with a voice changer and did that for like months and months and months and months. And if you hear my voice now, you might be like, why did you even use a voice changer? You did not need that. But I was like convinced. You know? It's like weird. At that point, I didn't really record my voice and listen to it. Okay, I didn't have other people tell me what my voice sounded like. Okay. Then, but we go a few years later now, getting asked many, many times if I was a girl because of the way I typed. I always like to type like very flowery, I guess, with a lot of emojis. So many times people ask me if I was a girl by the way I typed in like MMOs and World of Warcraft. It's like, what? And then whenever I would join like TeamSpeak or later Discord, I would get either confused with like a 12-year-old child or with a woman, okay? And nowadays, obviously, I'm very thankful for my voice, but that happened so many times. No real interest in relationships as the quote-unquote man in the relationship. I did not have any romantic relationships in my entire life. I'm not gonna pretend, okay? And that is mostly because I'm unhappy. I was unhappy with who I was, with my body, whatever, right? There was no way I was gonna be in a relationship like that, okay? But it's all gonna change now with the power of girl drugs, yeah. Becoming a VTuber with a female model. Guess what? I actually decided to become a VTuber with a female avatar. This one you see right now, before my egg actually cracked. It took me like 6 to 7 months streaming with this model until I realized, wait a moment, it's just me! And then of course the very typical thought of wanting to be reborn as a different gender, getting isekai or whatever. And last but not least, I leave you with one of the things that has me kept up at nights. The desire to, what if you aren't trans? What if you are not transgender? What if hashtag big trans corporations and hashtag Shyaren made you trans, made you believe you are trans, but you are actually not? Is it gonna be the end of the world? Let's talk about it. I thought this could be like a nice little topic we can talk about today. A good girl, or a good boy, or a good bean. Okay, the girls always come first. I'm sorry. So we need to talk about this, right? Because this is like a topic that comes up over and over and over and over and over again. Be it like in my Discord, be it like on Reddit, or like all kinds of like forums where people talk about like transgender things. And of course, it also comes up in like circles where either like parents or right side people of the politics spectrum will be like, oh, it's just a phase, oh, that person has been influenced and stuff like that. So I am not denying that there might be some people that might get influenced into some kind of thing, right? But I don't think it's even like 5%. It's probably lower than that, okay? Here's why. We have talked about multiple times already that people who are cisgender, aka not trans, aka they are the same gender that the hospital said when they were born, basically, right? Most of them do not question their gender their entire life, okay? That's just what happens, right? And to confirm this, I even talked with my family members and stuff like that, and they like never questioned that as well. So that is just like, it's not like a hard rule, but it's just like something that for most people is true. So if you are thinking about this, that could be a sign already, but it doesn't have to be a sign. Let's say you aren't trans, but you have this feeling that you might be, right? That's the scenario we're going with right now. Let's say you even take it as far as you change your name officially, like on government papers and stuff like that, and you even start like HRT, hormone replacement therapy. Even at that point, even like a year in or like 6 months in, right? And then you realize, oh damn, I'm actually not trans. This is not what I actually want. Literally, nothing happened to you, okay? There might be like some embarrassment of having to tell people, oh yeah, like I went through this exploration phase and that's actually not me after all. And yes, it might be annoying to get like your name changed back. And yes, it might be like annoying to like not take the medicine anymore and stuff like that. But literally, almost everything is reversible, right? As long as you don't like do any kinds of like surgeries, which let's be honest, you're probably not gonna do in the first or second year or maybe even the third year, right? That's just the reality, right? So as long as you don't do anything with this, most of the things are reversible. The only thing that is like not really reversible is if you take like HRT for like a long enough of time, then at some point you obviously will have grown the boobies. Or if you take the female to male HRT where you take testosterone, at some point your voice will drop, and both of these things are kind of like non-reversible. I mean, in the case of like male to female HRT, if it's like worst case scenario, you could get a mastectomy basically and get your boobs removed again, but like we like boobies, right? But no, you know what? It's like, in that sense, it's like reversible, right? But yeah, so basically there's like nothing really stopping you from exploring. And most of the time, it's very hard, sadly, still in many countries to even get HRT. So the first like transitional things you will probably do, we will like change your name on Discord, tell people your new pronouns, and then you should probably already figure out if you like being called that name, if you like having like those pronouns and stuff like that, right? And then you can decide, okay, do you want to go like the next step? Do I want to take the hormones? And then after that, you can decide, okay, do I want to take the next step? And literally at every single point of those, you have the opportunity to say, you know what? I tried. It's actually not what I want. Let's go back, okay? So I want to basically not necessarily like encourage you, right? But take away that kind of fear where you think, oh my God, what if I'm not? What if I'm not trans? And I start like this whole journey. I don't think there has to be that much of a fear. Like the biggest thing that will happen to you, that it will be very embarrassing if you tell like your whole family and your like friend group that you are, and then you will have to tell them that you're not. I think that's like the most thing. And yes, I know social embarrassment is sometimes as bad as 1,000 cuts with a sword or something. And I wouldn't want that either, but like, what can you do? It won't kill you. So next point is like, most people that are faking something, I would even say 100% of people that are faking something know that they are faking something, right? If you go to a job interview and you know that you put like a lie on your job interview page, you know that you did that, right? You like not mistakenly put something on there and then you're like, oops, that was fake. If you are pretending to be someone's friend, for example, don't do that, by the way, but if you're pretending to be someone's friend, you know you are pretending, right? You're pretending to be nice, you know you are pretending. So why do you think that you would not know that you are pretending to be trans? For like, I don't know, social clout, social butterflies or something, I don't know. Why would you not know? you would know. You would know if you were like pretending, if you would play make-believe and stuff like that. You would know. So, oh my god, the chair? Oh my god, my chair thingy here? Sorry, ADHD and stuff like that, but like the chair thingy felt weird there for a second. Anyway, wanna have a drink? Let's have a drink. So yeah, I don't think many things can happen if you are wrong. And I don't believe it, honestly. Be so for real with me right now. I know there's like quite a lot of people that watch my channel. And I know a few of them, obviously, from the comments where people watch me either because they just like my personality or my silly voices or like the meme videos. But there's like quite a lot of people and watch this channel who are not transgender, right? And that's obviously perfectly fine, and I'm happy to have these people here. But a lot of people who watch my videos are, right? And if you're not 100% sure about your whole like gender situation just yet, right? And you have been watching like multiple videos from this channel, or maybe any of the like other trans and LGBTQI plus channels, right? Maybe at some point you have to like be like, does this mean something? Does it? I don't know. Does this mean something? You know what? Like exploring yourself is quite easy. Sorry, I didn't want to say easy. Exploring yourself is free of charge, basically. Yeah. It's also like let's be so honest right now. I know not everybody has the kind of relationship with either friends or family, especially parents. It can be very scary, I know, where you can talk openly with them. But if you are in a position where you can talk openly with your parents, then you can, instead of like being instantly like, yo mom, I'm trans, let's do this. You could be like, hey mom, I'm recently have been questioning these and these things. Would it be okay? Or like, I would like to try this and this and this and this. Can we try that for like a week, a month, a year and stuff like that, right? So you do not have to commit. This is not a job application. Application is not the correct word. It should be called application. You're an application. You're an app, honestly. Yes. Let me like think about you for a second. Is there something else to add to this topic right now? I mean, go out there, look at other people, look at their experiences, what they have been experiencing. Look at the effects of HRT, either the male to female or the female to male one, whichever one interests you, right? See if the things that it says it do is something you want, right? Think about how you want to be called in public. Think about if there's a random child with a random family and that child sees you, right? And you have like a funny clown's costume on, right? Do you want that child to say, oh my god, look at the funny clown lady? Or do you want that child to say, oh my god, look at the funny clown man, right? Think about that, right? It's just like, do not think about the like broader things like, oh my god, the future, and oh my god, how the fuck does like sexual stuff work and stuff like that. Think about, I'm in the grocery store, I pay to the cashier, and I do like a giga mistake and I fall over. Do you want that cashier at night to remember, oh my god, that lady who fell over, I am so sorry for her, but it was so hilarious? Or do you want to think, oh my god, that guy who fell over, that was fucking hilarious and he deserved it because he didn't want to... Sorry. Okay, bye, think about it. This video is about boobs, about breasts, about boobylicious boobs. How boobs, why boobs, where boobs, can boobs, do boobs, boobs, how acquire boob, how get boob, how use boob, how take care boob, who knows? We are talking boobies today, and I really hope YouTube isn't like bonking me. They shouldn't. Some people literally put the real corn on their like thumbnails and stuff like that. Also, so there's like no misunderstanding. This thumbnail was literally giga inspired because I liked another thumbnail of another video, which will be in the description down below, because I want to try how these types of thumbnails work for you guys if you like them as well, okay? let's talk boobs. Buy a shirt, by the way. Thank you. So boobs, right? They're kind of cool. Boobs are widely seen as feminine, unless you have moobs, which are men boobs, which somehow are not seen feminine, which is weird, to be honest. It's kind of the same thing. Like, internally, maybe they don't have exactly the same thing, like the lactating devices. That sounds wrong, okay? But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Boobs kind of be boobing, okay? And I don't know if you have seen, like, some actors, when they wear the big white shirts, and they have, like, they have such a chest, and you go like, oh, baby girl, yeah. So, like, that's cool. That's obviously man boobs. Beautiful. Girl boobs though, whole thing, especially on this channel, because like, who wouldn't like a little pair of boobs, right? What are boobs? Technically, you could say boobs are the thing that make the world go round, but also like feed our newborn in many cases. There are some people who cannot feed their newborn via the boobs, either because like they don't make milk, they don't make enough milk, they make wrong milk not good enough, a baby bites, many reasons, okay? But boobs is still good. Boobs are, in fact, so universally beloved that I'm like 99.9% sure that there's not a single person in this world who cannot at least appreciate a pair of boobies, okay? Has nothing to do with your sexuality, with your gender. I think boobs are just appreciated, okay? Of course, there are the people who are attracted to boobs, aka either lesbian people being attracted to boobies of other girls, or men being attracted in like a hetero way to boobies, right? And all the kinds of other like sexualities as well. You know, I'm not gonna list them every single time, all of them, okay? Buy a shirt. Did I say that? sorry, is that like too forced? Anyway, we like boobs. Now, quick little X-scores. How boobs make. Did you know that literally your body has the programming inside of you to make boobs? No matter your gender, your DNA, your whatever the hell, right? There is a pre-programmed size of boobies in your body, no matter who you are. And you need the estrogen in your body to be like at a certain value to make the machine suddenly go so that your boobie machine starts working, right? And then you basically play the genetic lottery. If you have big boobies, small boobies, medium boobies, uneven boobies, asymmetrical boobies, you know, that kind of like thing. That is why, by the way, when you take estrogen as a trans woman, oh god, I said women again in a plural form because I liked them so much, god damn it. Or as like a person taking feminizing HRT, or basically anybody that has not their like normal puberty produced boobies and then takes estrogen, right? You want to make boobies, right? Doesn't matter. If you're like a femboy and you want to go on like HRT, estrogen for like other effects, if you take it long enough, the boobies will come. It's not like you can decide what effects you want. Like the boobies always come. The boobies literally always come. They always come to bite you in the ass. They can't do that. They're not that long, okay? Unless you can bend quite a bit. So you get the boobies, okay? And if you want to look at like boobie growths, you can look at like the Tanner stages. Obviously, I can't show that on YouTube, right? But you can look up the Tanner stages in with like stages boobies grow, and you can see like in what stage you are. But yeah, if you are a trans feminine person and you want boobies, kinda need some estrogen in your body, right? Probably from HRT. At some point you will grow boobies, and then you have to play the lottery on how big your boobies get. Some people want small boobies, some people want big boobies. Some people who have small boobies want big boobies. Some people who have big boobies want small boobies. There's all kinds of preferences, and there's all kinds of preferences in the partners who are looking for boobies as well, believe it or not. Now, there are some things you can do to get your boobies your booby growth more in like shape. If you have taken estrogen for a while and your booby growth have either like slowed down or it's like not really happening, for some people, always have to say the word some, for some people, progesterone helps make booby. Okay? Progesterone could help make booby, could not do booby, okay? We don't know. Some people help, some people no. Okay? Weird. Okay, like that, okay? Not everybody same. Guess what? Human body hard, okay? Not same. You, me, not same, okay? Thank you. Anyway, we can appreciate boobies, okay? And for the fact about appreciating boobies, I think no country is better in appreciating boobies or exploiting boobies, however you want to see it, than Japan. Because, like, my god, have you seen anime? Okay, listen, I love anime. Love anime to the death. Have watched anime ever since I was a child. Will probably watch anime still. I'm a grandma in the, like, olden facility or whatever, right? But, like, my god, some anime with their, like, fan services and, like, camera panning to them boobies is too much. Is too much. It was too much when I was like 13. Is too much now when I am 30. Okay, it's too much. Is too much. Okay, same with some games. Listen, I can appreciate Lara Croft being sexy AF and having triangular sexy boobies. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. I can deal with that. Game like Stellar Blade though, I'm out. That's too much. That's, I don't know. That's like only booby for booby sake, not booby for aesthetic sake at that point. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm talking a lot about boobies. The whole video doesn't make sense, okay? Anyway, now we take a little break until you go buy a shirt. Is the like subliminal messaging working? I'm telling you a story about boobs now. I did like a short, and I never did short part 2 and 3. Basically, the short said, like the title of the short was like, she touched my boobs. This was many months ago now, and yeah, I never got around to making the other videos. The basic TLDR was that I like told my sister that my breasts had started to develop. And as an older sister, she was like, I need to see this for myself. I need to like investigate. At least I'm assuming that is what went through her mind, because like she instantly, her hands went like to the breasts and she touched them. I was like, I was stunned. I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, that's how you do it. I was like, is that how you do it? Then, cut a few days later, I visit my mom. Something happens. We get to like the topic of boobies. I tell her the story that I just told you, that I told my sister that boobies were starting to developing, and then that she randomly touched my boobies. Do you know what my mom did? She did the same fucking thing! She suddenly touched the boobies again, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she was like, that's what you do. And I'm like, is that what you do? That's weird. That's weird, isn't it? Even in family, it's weird, okay? Don't do that to strangers. You're gonna get arrested. Like, seriously, don't. But, like, even in family, I think that's kind of weird, okay? And then, I go back to my sister and tell her that my mom did the same thing. And my sister has to go to say, like, yeah, I told you. That's how you do it. And I'm like, bitch, what? That's basically how the booby trilogy ended in these short videos, okay? Because a boobs, boobs, a boobity boobs. Now, from personal experience, one thing, like, here's the thing. I'm not a person that takes pictures of my, like, growth process, right? If you wanna, like, have clear proof that stuff is happening and the feminizing process is happening, you should take, like, weekly photos, maybe even daily photos. But I can't be bothered with that. Also, like, my AHA would forget, right? The moment I have noticed that the chest area has become a hazard zone now is when I wore my old shirts, and the old shirts suddenly became like a little tighter, a little shorter, and I was like, what's happening? Guess what? Because there is a mountainous area somewhere on the body now that takes up fabric, so the shirt does not go all the way to where it's supposed to go. So yeah, I have no clothes now. Anyway, I'm not yet at the point where I bought my own bra. I have to, honestly, I do. Sometimes. When I wear specific kinds of shirts. And you know, like those like bags with like the long, like, it's not called string, with the long like satchel thing that you wear, like the over the shoulder bags, right? You wear it over the shoulder and the band goes between like your chest area, basically between the boobies. And sometimes I walk around and that one band goes like into like the one boobie, and then like, since I'm not wearing a bra and only a shirt, very clearly you can see something. And I'm like, I should get a bra. I really should. It's like it's a little bit weird, okay? It's a little bit weird, okay? But anyway, I don't yet. I haven't yet. I need to at some point. Probably, maybe. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like you shouldn't have to wear a bra if you don't wanna. Society kind of like expects that of women, but like, But I read like an amazing comment on Reddit, maybe like 3 weeks ago at this point. And that basically was like that one person was like told in the question of when is it appropriate or not to wear a bra is like the like wearing or not wearing of a bra should not be noticeable in either way. That meaning you should not have like a giga fancy bra, at least in like an office setting, right? That shows through your like shirt and everything. Or if your poop situation is the kind of way where without a bra it's like very noticeable and there's a nip situation happening, right? Then maybe you should wear a bra, okay? But again, I'm no lawyer, I'm no judge. Go roam free like the ancestors, okay? But like if your job demands like some kind of etiquette, maybe look into that, okay? I don't know. Anyway, this was the boob video. I was thinking of making this only like a 1-minute skit video, to be honest. But then I was like, boobs, that's such a topic. You can dip like so long about boobs, okay? Because boobs, boobity boobs, boop, 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 boobity boobs, 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 boobity boobs, boop, 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 boobity boobs. Time is precious, so here's how to skirt in 2 minutes or maybe less. Okay, you have a skirt. How do you wear it? There's basically 2 ways. You can wear it like right at the waist, or you can like wear it all the way up to the belly button, depending on the length of the skirt and what kind of skirt it is and what your preferences are. Both work, both are fine. Tip 1, get a skirt with pockets, because even though these pockets might not be as good or as deep as the pockets you are used to on like the good old male jeans, some pockets is still better than no pockets. And if you need to like take your keys or a phone with you, very good. What do you wear under a skirt? Something. You can go commando, not recommended. You probably want some kind of like longer underwear or some like shorts or some like biker shorts. This is like what many people wear, right? Some like thin material so your like thighs don't rub together, right? What else do you need to know? Skirts go spinny. Skirts come in multiple lengths. If it's your first skirt, maybe, possibly get a longer skirt so you can get used to skirt things. When you sit down, tuck your skirt a little bit up so you don't sit down, like you don't put your foot on the longer skirt, because then when you try to stand up again, you might like lose your whole skirt and be naked there. Be careful about that. When you go downstairs or upstairs, do the Bridgerton thing. Hold your dress, aka the skirt, a little bit higher in one of your hands so you don't step on the skirt while going up or down the stairs, okay? You can wear belts with it. Some skirts even come with belt buckets. What do you wear on top? Honestly, everything, whatever the hell you want, but I like cute t-shirts. And there's so many like fashion tips. Skirt do go spinny, yes. Should you get a skirt? Yes. They're nice, they're amazing. Did I miss anything on how to skirt? Let me know in the comments down below. Bye! Okay, here's everything, probably not everything, that HRT does. Feminizing HRT in this case. If any of those things interest you, you might be transgender, but don't tell anybody. Number 1, eye color can change. You can get a different eye color. That's crazy. Nobody tells you that, honestly. Your skin can get thinner, which can lead to a bunch of different things. But one of the main things is that in the nether region, you might need to use different techniques to unleash the dragon or hide the dragon. Different body hair, honestly, right? The body hair will 100% feel different. You might even get to the point where you won't mind like some body hair, like on the arms or stuff, because guess what? Women have body hair as well. The odor change is one of the very first things that does happen, that you start smelling like a girl and not smell like a boy sweat anymore, right? You can lose some height. It's not like drastic, right? But you can lose like a few centimeters, which is crazy in itself. Then you can also lose like a shoe size or two. I myself have went from like a European size 48 to 49, which is gigantic, by the way, to like 45 to 46, which is amazing. Like way more shoes fit now. Your smell will be better in general, not just the like body odor, right? If you have brain fog before, it can be lifted, right? Brain fog could be from other things like ADHD and stuff as well. But there is a wide known phenomenon of brain fog in like trans people that will be lifted from HRT because your brain chemistry is now like correct. You can have softer skin, which is different from thinner skin, right? It will feel very soft and you want to like caress your own hands all the time, right? Also, together with softer skin and thinner skin, you can have freckles now. No, freckles don't magically appear. But if you were having freckles already, because your skin is thinner now, they will show through the skin now. So it will appear if you suddenly got freckles or like more birthmarks, right? Your hair texture can change, which is also one of the crazy things, like hormones change so much. Then one of the obvious things, your boobies can grow in various degrees depending on your genetic lottery. And then of course we have the fat in different places like hips, right? It's very obvious that like fat stored in like different places between men and women, and your libido can increase or decrease. For me personally, it went like up first when I first started and then it went like way down after a while, right? Because guess what, it's a different I was about to say pregnancy, my god, it's a different puberty. And you do have to remember that with a new puberty, your body is working very hard. You might even get pimples and stuff again because, again, puberty. And last but not least, you are more happy. And that's the most important part. Happy Pride.